Whoa, we're back!
Well,
Ah,
we're here.
we're here. Hi. This might be a surprise for people in their subscription boxes.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi.
I've actually told a few people.
You told nice.
I told Beat,
Yeah.
Robert,
Yeah.
and Somar.
So
And Nino.
nice.
And
nice.
all of them are very excited.
The inner circle.
Yes.
And there is also like an outer circle that will also see this and be like, whoa.
Okay.
And very excited. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's been
A while.
since this isn't really Ships Worldwide anymore. It's more of a
Well, it is ships worldwide because let's be real here. This is the most shipping worldwide ever.
I guess, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was shipped
worldwide.
and and I've been put a return to sender put on me and sent back.
Yes.
The most possible. Hi everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to
It's been a couple years.
Yeah.
Things
I
have
think
happened.
it's been a while for people, so you should introduce yourself.
Oh, well, I'm Adrian. I'm one of Tanner's friends.
Yes, and I'm Tanner, and this is the channel that you're on.
Yeah. We did a podcast a couple years ago
Yeah.
called Ships Worldwide. And I guess this is the catch-up episode.
Yes. It's funny because in between, since we haven't done it for a while, YouTube actually added an automatic podcast
I've
thing.
seen that, yeah.
Yeah, so like it actually took my old podcast playlist.
Oh, really?
And,
It did it
and
automatically?
it automatically.
Oh.
So now on like YouTube Music and stuff, it's there as a official podcast.
There you go.
Which is pretty good because I stopped paying for the server, so it's the only place it's going to be available. Because I've been gone.
Well, I even signed into the podcast Twitter the other day, and
Amidst all the flames and wreckage.
yeah, which we can talk about later.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
0 followers, 0 following, so it was just kind of reset. So there's kind of no point in promoting this.
I think so.
It's just going to pop up, and
it'll be a nice surprise for people.
it will.
It will be. Yeah.
Does your what do you call your fan base?
Oh, do they need a name?
Well, yeah,
Oh, I don't have one of those.
the Sabers.
No, because that would mean that I'm like attracted to all of them, and that's weird. No, it has to be like
The Tannites.
that sounds like a religious thing. I don't know about that.
I mean, you do kind of participate in a cult with all this fate stuff.
That's you know what? I'm gonna be honest. You're not even that far off. You're not even that far off. I'm looking at like, where are the places I can take a trip to? And it's like, because I have time coming up where I'm gonna have time to roam and explore the world. Winter vacation, summer vacation, and I'm just like, all right, I can go to all the places related to King Arthur. I could go to all the real life locations that were photographed in for the backgrounds to make the Fate games. I could go to France. There's a castle that they used as the basis of a Fate thing, right? So, that's kind of where I'm at with my life, is just thinking about all the places I want to go with related to that.
Well, my question earlier was that does your fan base know that you're back?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not only have I kept them abreast in my up to date.
Never heard of that term before.
Oh, I use it quite often because it's fun to say.
Yeah.
I've told them about it on Twitter. I was like live tweeting my my whole trip home, pretty much.
That was a cute video of when you came off the plane and your mom came running.
Yeah.
Even my girlfriend said so.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good video there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not shared for the general public, but for those of you who don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's fine, but I recorded myself.
It's okay mentioning it, though.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But I recorded myself coming off the plane and coming out of customs into the main area, and my mom running up to me, and she didn't even recognize me at first, and she told me later, she's like, well, you were standing with a bunch of Asian people and I thought you were just one of them. I'm like, thanks, Mom, it's only been 9 months and I guess I've just changed entirely.
Changed an entire race.
Yeah. So I guess for those who may not know, which would be wild considering you're on my channel and I never kind of stopped talking about it, I've been in China for the last really 10 months. Honestly there. And I'm back now for 2 months.
2 months? Okay.
Yeah, I'm back until the end of August, essentially. when I will fly back for another year. At that point, that's my contract is only for one more year, but I'm like 90% certain I'm going to take a third year for sure.
Okay.
Just because of the fact that, as we'll get into, it's awesome. But also like it'll be nice to see one like grade 10 class all the way through to the end, right? Get them through there. And yeah, so I'm thinking next summer I might not come home. Instead, my sister wants to go to Japan for her graduation gift. And so she wants someone to go with her. So I'd fly there, which is nice and close for me. She'd fly over, and then we'll have a little, vacation there in Japan. So probably going to be coming back in the winter instead, because I can afford to do that and come for a Christmas, post-Christmas break here. But other than that, yeah. Well, we got a lot to talk about with that. But first, before we get into that, I do want to start off with something important.
What's that?
And that's the presents I bought you.
Oh.
Yeah. We're getting that out of the way right now.
I forgot about that, honestly.
Yeah, I've been waiting to give you... Okay, so...
Okay.
I wanted to get people that I knew some presents, right? I got for my mom, I got her a nice watch. For Kai, I got her a ton of stuff. But mostly clothing that I bought that was too small for me.
Okay.
Because I would buy clothing there and didn't realize when I bought my first bunch of clothing that the sizes there are quite different.
Because people there are mostly skinny, like thinner.
You'd be surprised. It's actually pretty much the same.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually quite the same. It's just that they are more likely to shame you for your size. So, for example, I'm a 4XL there.
What?
Yeah. And my friend who is like 6 foot something, he's like, yeah, I'm a 6XL.
What?
Just because it's ridiculous, the sizes, right? So I bought a bunch of stuff that was either X or just L or XL, right? Which is normally what I get.
Yeah.
And there was no way I'm fitting into them. And so because of that, I'm like, well, that's for my sister.
Yeah.
Right? So I kept it and gave it to her.
Nice.
For like my grandma, I got her like a sculpture, and my dad, I got him a embroidered sort of like Chinese dragon. So then I thought, though, what do I get you? Right? Yeah. It's a difficult thing because, I don't really know. One, I only have limited space to bring it back. Like I still brought back 2 containers of luggage, and 90% of that was gifts.
Wow.
Like I brought back very few clothes. Because I have clothes here, so it's not a big concern.
So you have like stuff back there still?
Oh, my apartment is back there and being cleaned every week.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It's nice.
Do you ever worry about it getting like broken in?
No. You know why?
Because
you don't do crimes in China.
The culture is way better.
You don't do crimes in China. Oh my! Well, 1, there's a camera pointed right at my door there. 2, I have the cleaning lady coming in every week. 3, my next door neighbor is my landlord, and he is a very, very nice guy. When I got COVID, which I did, it sucked, but he actually went out and got me medicine for me. I remember that. It was so nice, right? Or he'll just come and maybe bring food or anything that's broken. He'll just come in and fix it. Like he was a really, really nice guy. So
that's good. Yeah,
because of that, I'm not concerned. But anyways, we're postponing it. What did I get for gifts? Well, guess what China's close to? Japan. Okay. We're gonna go in order of. I'm gonna say.
Are these wrapped or are these just like?
Some of them are wrapped. Some of them are a bit more open. We're gonna go in order of what I would say like smallest to biggest. Okay. So the first thing. Okay. So it is a small brown package.
Oh.
Do you know what that is?
Stardust Crusaders.
It is Stardust Crusaders, but do you know what it is?
It looks like a wallet.
It's not a wallet. It's a glasses case.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
It is a Stardust Crusaders glasses case.
Sorry for this.
It's okay. You should be fine if, you just don't point it directly in the mic. Although some people might like that ASMR. And it came with a little thing, too. Just throw it on the ground. It's fine for now. Yeah.
It's like a keychain.
They always come with little gifts and stuff. But yeah. Really? A Stardust Crusaders glasses case.
Oh, it even says JoJo.
Yeah. Huh. I thought that's a nice little thing, right? If you have any sunglasses or other sets, you can keep that in your car in there.
For sure.
Yeah, a little nice thing.
I
All
do have
right.
a compartment, but I can put it in there and
Yeah.
have it more protected.
All right, the
Thank you.
next one. So this one came wrapped in a container that is just peak China in my eyes. You're gonna laugh because it does not tell you it does not tell you what it is. Do you know what that logo is?
Plants vs. Zombies.
That's the Plants vs. Zombies logo.
Huh.
That has nothing to do with what's in it, but they just wrapped it in Plants vs. Zombies 2 Chinese box. It even has a EA on the back.
Logo on it?
Yeah, that has nothing to do with what's in it. I got that and I'm like, what the frick is this? And then I looked at it and I'm like, oh, I know what this is.
Another package.
Yeah, it's nice they wrap it for safety.
All right.
Right? I had to get all this stuff shipped to me, basically.
Okay. Oh, what's this?
Those are the Stardust Crusaders tarot cards.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
That's sick.
Those are the cards that when they are talking about the stands and they have the one for each of them, those are the ones that come up.
I want to open it, but
so
it's tough.
Full disclosure, no idea if any of this is official.
Oh, that's okay.
No idea. But that's one thing I learned to accept in China. Sometimes it's not official, but it's mad cheap.
Oh man, I don't want to like break the packaging.
I know, right? It's just one of those things. But I saw that there and I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Like as long as it looks cool, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Well, they got like a nice shine to them.
Magician, High Priestess, Empress.
Empress got them big titty.
Wow, there's a lot here.
Well, yeah, there's one for like you could use this for real tarot card readings if you want to get into stuff that would make your family concerned.
That's cool. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, that's not it.
That's what it.
That's not it. Dude, stuff in China is so cheap. Like I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh yeah, I got you gifts and they were super cheap, so it's like it's awesome.
That's okay.
But actually it's really awesome how cheap they are. It's really nice. Okay.
Oh, I have an update on that you know that I don't know how to pronounce his name. Giaco? The part 5 ice guy.
Oh yeah?
He broke.
Oh no!
Yeah. During the move.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's a shame. Well, you could put this in its place.
Oh, no way. Is this what I think it is?
It's an acrylic stand of all the protagonists.
I love this art too.
Yeah, so this one is, I'm pretty sure, official.
Oh, that's sick.
So it's all the characters. It's them running together. It comes with a little stand so you can put it on. So that then they're running together. I think it's the logo goes in front. So then it's like they're running, and then there's the logo kind of slides in the front.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Well, that's not it. This next one is the last one. Okay. This one is one that when I saw, I'm like, no way, this is kind of awesome. So this one is special,
Stone Ocean.
official, and China exclusive.
China exclusive.
China does get a lot of stuff. Like when I went for coffee, there was a coffee chain that had JoJo branding for a month. So they had Stone Ocean coffee there.
This is in China?
Yes. Yeah.
Is JoJo popular in China?
All anime is big in China because Japan is right there.
I guess.
It's surprising, actually.
The
culture is quite similar.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't even know what this is yet.
Oh boy.
Feels fancy.
It does. It might be fancy.
Oh, anime girl. Oh my god, it's a watch.
It is a official JoJo Star Platinum watch.
Oh, that's sick.
It
Are you
is.
kidding me?
Dude, it's real.
It works?
It works. It's a real watch.
Where are the faces?
I don't know. I think there's a way to get it set up to work.
Huh.
But even if it's just decorative, it is a damn fine piece.
Yeah, that is a really nice watch.
Yeah.
The purple bands.
It has like a purple band. The kind of pattern on it is Star Platinum there. You know, it's kind of like Jotaro Part 6 sort of colors.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be putting pictures of this in the Discord.
Yeah,
for people who have been granted access.
I have no idea what.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's an anime girl.
It's like an anime girl jump scare.
So I think this is just basically saying like here's how to register it, so that China's really into like scan QR codes, get stuff, get discounts. This is probably just saying like, hey, here's your your day when you bought it, scan this and you get probably a discount or something.
Let's see. Like, I just want to know how this works. Like, how am I supposed to tell the time with no
Yeah,
hands?
I'm not actually sure. Oh, it's glowing.
Oh,
Look,
well,
it glows. So right now it's the time is looking like,
120. It's 124 right now.
well, it's not set. It's set for
Right.
China time. So we'll have to figure out how to set the time,
Yeah.
which will be interesting. But
Huh.
yeah, it's apparently a touchscreen. Maybe you hold it. Let's see. There's got to be a way to.
Is there any buttons on it?
I don't see any buttons. It's probably like hold it for enough time or something to set it. Dang, yeah, that's kind of
Is this
cool.
The
The brand, yeah. So we'll
Okay.
probably be able to look it up. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man.
Well, like I said, the nice thing is China is one of those places where, because I get paid in Canadian dollars, everything is mad cheap.
Oh yeah.
Everything is so inexpensive. Like, I can get stuff as long as it's not like an import product from specifically America. Anything can be got for so cheap, which is nice for things like food and anime
Yeah,
figures.
I'm so jealous about that food
Oh
situation.
my god,
dude.
the food is so good and
Like,
there's
those
so much.
portions I've seen are like incredibly
Huge. There's
huge,
so
yeah.
much food. There's so much good food. Oh man. Although there's a few things that I did miss. Those were namely hot dogs. No real hot dogs.
No?
Any sausage tastes more like a like you know how like breakfast sausage doesn't taste like a hot dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, they taste more like breakfast sausages.
Huh.
You know, kind
That
of like
still sounds good though.
it's when you want
Well,
like
you're not
a
a breakfast guy, so
yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't eat much breakfast. But when you want like a hot dog, you want a hot dog,
What
right?
about burgers?
Burgers were surprisingly good.
Okay.
Burgers, I was able to find a number of places that were really good. The closest burger to home was Burger King. I think they used the exact same frozen hamburgers as here, so it tasted just like home.
Okay.
Pizza, because they don't like tomato sauce, which is a problem for pizza.
Yeah.
So they're either light to no tomato sauce,
Hmm.
which in my eyes
So you pretty much
doesn't make a pizza.
makes it closer to bread with
Well, they
stuff on
usually
it.
use either another sauce or just have more cheese.
Huh.
Right? The closest pizza to home.
Isn't the sauce the glue of the pizza?
Yeah,
though?
pretty much, right? You'd think
then
so.
Doesn't it just fall off?
Kind of, yeah.
Oh.
The closest pizza I was able to find, Papa John's.
Oh.
Was surprised to find Papa John's in
Really?
China, but it tasted like home. It had the dipping sauce. It had breadsticks. So I was able to, and it had some pizza sauce.
Did it taste as racist as you think? I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, I feel like there's like zero connection to,
No, I
I think it's
know.
like, right? But it's,
They've separated him away.
well,
enough.
not only that, but I feel like even because they sell like burgers and stuff there too. So it's like a
Really?
whole different operation.
Oh.
And the other thing I missed was root beer.
They don't have root beer there?
They hate root beer.
What kind of pop do they have there?
There's a lot of different ones. One of them is the one I'm drinking right here, which is called Milkis. It is
that looks
it
like
is
something else.
carbonated yogurt.
Huh.
And it's surprisingly good. It basically it's pilk is what it is. It's pre-mixed pilk,
Huh.
Pepsi and milk.
That's weird.
It's really good. Another strange.
So does it taste like carbonated?
Do you want to try a
water?
sip? Take a sip. It tastes like a root beer float to me.
That tastes good.
It's good, right?
That's good.
Yeah, I love Milkis. So that's it's actually Korean, but I
It
had
just-
it quite a lot there.
Yeah.
It tastes like to me like a root beer float.
Like,
Like
it tastes good. Everything else is weird.
yeah, that's fair. Other than that, like most pops were still like Coke and Pepsi and all that's there. Orangina or not Orangina, but like the Fanta and all the orange stuff. There's a couple China brand ones that were good there. Yeah, and iced tea was everywhere and tasted like Canadian iced tea. It's closer than American like cold tea. Like it's actually like the sweetened iced
okay.
tea. So I was very happy about that.
Cool.
Pretty much like there was not a lack of, stuff to eat that I could enjoy. There was a few things I couldn't get into, Chicken feet. Couldn't really deal with that.
Chicken feet?
Yeah, chicken feet.
Like, they're just chicken feet.
Yeah.
Like, they're cooked, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, sometimes cold, depending on the dish.
And what's the texture?
Um,
Just, you're snapping bones off, or what?
yeah. Imagine biting into a chicken's foot. The sort of fleshy foot with, like, the bone inside. They actually taste okay. But it's the bone situation that isn't very fun.
Yeah, the texture kind
of kills it.
Yeah. Like how people really get icked out if they bite into the cartilage of a
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of like some of the places they will remove the bones and you're just left with the meat.
The boneless chicken.
The boneless chicken foot, yeah. But even then, there's like usually little shards because it's not like one big bone. It's not like a wing where you have like the one big bone.
Yeah.
It's like lots of small ones. It's like a fish almost.
So you can like choke on it easily.
Yeah, but they pretty much always just eat bones there, which was something I had to get over.
Weird.
Like unless it's like a big bone, like a chicken wing bone, like they usually like fish, they just whatever they eat it, and I'm like, I can't deal with that.
My biggest question now: what's the best China kind of exclusive dish you've had there?
Ooh, I'm gonna be real. It's so simple, but like there's nothing that's better than just like beef or lamb on a stick that's fried right there, and the guy fries it on a barbecue in front of you. You pay him, you grab it, you eat it, and it is just meat on a stick, usually spiced up. Yeah, I guess the closest thing is like the meal that I would have all the time, which is something I'm convincing my parents to come to with me in Edmonton here because I really want to get it with my family, is hot pot.
Okay.
Have you had hot pot?
I can say that I have.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you say it and you're like, yeah, whatever, hot pot, right? But it's actually a very unique experience.
What is it?
So you go to a restaurant and they say, all right, please tell me what soup you want. And you have your choices of usually it's like bone broth, which is, I mean, that's basically like the broth used for like ramen and stuff, right?
Yeah.
You can get like tomato broth, which is sort of like a tomato soup. You can get usually mushroom broth, which is like a mushroom base. You can get spicy ones. I made the mistake of getting spicy one time. Spicy is about 100 times more than here.
So you like spiciness, but it was...
Here's the thing. It's a different spicy. Spice in China is a different type of spice. So when you eat Mexican spice, it sort of fills your mouth and gives you that heat usually on the tongue, right? Mm-hmm. And it lingers maybe a bit in your throat. That's not China spice. China uses something called peppercorns. And peppercorns numb you.
Oh.
They numb your lips and mouth and tongue and potentially throat. So the first time I'm having it, I'm like, guys, I'm kind of freaking out. And my coworkers look at me and they're like, I thought you said you could handle spicy food. And I said, I can. And he said, wait, is this your first time with China spice? And I'm like, it is. And he's like, oh, you're going to have a bad time for a bit. And for a while, like my tongue it felt like sharp-legged spiders running all over my tongue. Like it was like those deep, heavy, sharp stabbing, but not pain, but numbing. And it was on my lips and my tongue. And it was...
See, like at that point, why do people have that?
Yeah.
How is that enjoyable?
See, I don't enjoy it.
See, that's what I mean when you...
Because like I enjoy regular spice because it's enough that it gives it a nice flavor and then it's enjoyable, but that was too much.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And yeah, they say like it's the reason that it is beloved is that in some regions of China, that's what they had to use instead of salt to preserve their cooking.
Huh.
So it is a like historical thing that people have grown up eating with the peppercorns.
They got used to it.
They got used to it. There's regions of China, and this is something that's crazy to me. They're like, my coworker, he's he was kind of my guide there. His name's Angus. Good guy. Good, like probably my best friend there. Nice. Just because he was like, one, we're both gamer bros, so it was nice to have that. But two, he was my guide to like China.
Yeah. And
he told me, you have to think about the size of China is so huge. Each province is the size of a European country. And when you think about that, the diversity of European countries is massive. Yeah. China's the same way. different provinces are so distinctly different that the cuisine can be seen as completely different no matter where, depending on where you go for the provinces.
Huh.
So there's provinces which are known for like the
There are
spiciest
provinces
spicy
in
food.
China?
Yeah, just like us, right? We're broken up into provinces.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I picture China, I think this
one big
small,
blob, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's broken up into a decent number of provinces there,
Interesting.
and each one is very distinct. You
Have
can
you-
even tell by looking at someone where they come from because the skin tones are different.
Really?
Northern China is very north, like Mongolia. You can tell they have like sort of the darker skin. They have the like the Mongolian, the Mongoloid features, as they say. But then you go down more south, and it's like, yeah, it's a different sort of
Huh.
people.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, some places it's known for their spice. They get mad spicy. Some places are more known for their sweet. Some places are more known for, like up north, lamb. Lamb. They love everything is lamb based
You like
because
lamb?
I love lamb.
Okay.
So I was eating a lot of good lamb stuff. Yeah. Yeah, the food situation was awesome actually. Oh, I didn't go into hot pot. Right.
Right, yeah.
So hot pot. You get the broth, and then depending on where you go, you either get to pick as much food as you want from like a buffet, or if you're really lucky, you get one of those like rotating sushi belt restaurants where instead
those are cool.
but instead it's raw ingredients going around. So then all you do is you pick the ingredients and you throw them in your hot pot.
Oh.
So what do you want to cook into your soup? You want veggies? Wait for the veggies to come, throw it in. There'll be raw meat in there. Throw in the meat will cook in the pot in front of you, and then you can eat it up. Throw noodles in there. Now you can take the noodles out and have like seasoned noodles. Eat that separately while you cook other stuff in your pot. And it's really, really nice. So I really want to go to it here. The only problem is it's mad expensive.
Oh yeah, probably.
It is $40 a person.
Holy.
But mind you, for all you can eat.
And probably more authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that is something that I'm considering taking my family to as a fancy thing, but like once and that's it.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because it's so cheap there.
Yeah.
I lived basically on top of a hot pot place, and it was basically $9 for all I can eat until I was full.
Really?
And on the way out, she always gives you a juice box to go.
Huh.
She always, because there's students that go there, and so on the way out, you get to pay, and she lets you pick either a juice box or a pop, and on your way.
Okay, so that kind of transitions into the final main thing I want to ask you about, the culture and the lifestyle there. Is it, you alluded to it earlier, but it's apparently a lot better to live there than here?
There is such a cooperative culture, which makes sense. Communism.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's funny because they're not actually like really communist anymore. Like they're closer
So
to Canada.
Is there any like kind of the man is always watching type of thing, as they say
It's as much as
here?
would be here. If I started to walk around and yell about how bad the government is here, I would probably be told by people, hey,
Shut up.
you should stop that.
Yeah.
If I went to pursue stuff about that, I would definitely be told by the police, stop that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing there. I mean, never once did I ever feel any different than being here.
Really?
It was the same. And I feel like every single...
Like even when you like first got there type of thing?
Okay, well, that was one of my things I have on my notes there. We'll talk about, so we're talking about just general right now. When I first arrived and it was in COVID time, oh my God, that was a whole different story.
Yeah.
That was a whole different
so when
thing.
it was like, no,
I left at the very end of August.
of last year.
Yes.
And COVID was still a big thing?
So
I thought-
COVID was just like
Wrapping up?
re-emerging there.
Oh, right. Yeah, because I remember it was a big thing
So,
you were mentioning.
Okay, first off.
But yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah. We'll finish up with the people there. No, very nice people. I spoke no Chinese, but I think it's because I am in a town that is very tourism based. A lot of the stuff is English ready. People are, if they know a little bit of English, they can speak to me. If not, I just use Google Translate. We would talk through the app. That was all good, right? In general, like, yeah, just it feels like a society that is much more well put together, much more cooperative. And it's also like just some of it might be city culture, like the fact that it's like, oh, it's 7 p.m. Go out. The day has just started. Everyone's off of work. There are stalls with food open. There are, nighttime attractions. There's clubs. There's bars. There's people all out, right? Go for a night walk. Go anywhere. Do anything. You're safe.
Yeah, I'm jealous of those night walks because like you can't really do that here without feeling a little sense of.
I never ever.
You can't go in certain spots. Well, I assume it's the same thing there.
No, I never felt unsafe.
Really?
Never
like even
once.
going down. Have you gone down alleys?
Oh yeah.
Because that's when it gets kind of weird.
Never felt unsafe. Never once. I went down alleys. I went into even what would be known as kind of the more seedy part of town, right? And it's like never, because here's the thing. Yeah, one thing that they are known for is there's a lot of surveillance. There's cameras everywhere. There's police everywhere. But if you're just being a normal person, living your life fine, you are safe. And you can enjoy that safety. And that is something I really liked. Oh. Being able to just, like, for instance, there was one time where a package was left in my apartment. I was telling my coworker, oh man, like, is someone going to take my package? And he's like, no. You think someone's going to steal something here?
Meanwhile, here I saw on our community page, someone's been stealing packages.
Stuff, yeah, because here's the thing. One, there's cameras everywhere. They will identify you. They will, and they can, like, here's...
So because they have, like, the social credit things still, right? And everything.
That is a thing, yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, that is a thing.
But it wasn't really a thing for you because you were...
No, because I'm not a citizen. Yeah. But, like, for example, when I was reading some of the COVID stuff, they basically said, like, if you don't follow COVID rules, it will affect your social credit. Now, here's the thing. It's not like how some people believe the social credit to be, like, every action you take is you either get plus or minus points.
Okay.
Like, it's more just, like... It's sort of like getting infractions on your driver's license. It's like, if you do something bad, you lose the points. Lose enough points, something happens.
But what do they consider bad and good actions there, though?
Well, there's no real good. You don't, like, gain much. You only gain if you've already lost, like, just by being normal. But like committing, like, littering, you can get, like, if a policeman sees you littering, he can come and say, like, hey, stop that. And if you continue to do it, he can then hit you up with that. It's really anything that would be considered, like, illegal, right? It's any sort of crime, Yeah, in general, it was not... It helped convince people to be nice to each other, and it was nice.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, no, I had no issues with that, and I was always safe. And yeah, leave your packages wherever, because no one's going to take them. Umbrellas are left out everywhere, because no one's going to take your umbrella. Why would they do that? Everyone has an umbrella.
Meanwhile, I'm scared to leave my shoes on the shore when I go into a lake.
Yeah, no, it's like there's none of that there. So that's a really nice thing.
So let's get into your first.
All right, so
few months, weeks,
however
long it took.
I get on the airplane, right? I fly to Vancouver. That's all good. It's all going fine. Wait in Vancouver for a bit, and then it's time to line up for my flight to from Vancouver to... No, I think I'll go Vancouver, Seattle, and then I go Seattle to actual China. So I'm getting ready to go to China, and when I was getting on the plane, I had to fill out this paperwork saying I'm all COVID safe and everything. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Get that all done. That was in Chinese. That was a bit difficult. I mastered the ability to take screenshots on my phone, throw it into Google Translate's, like, screen translate, and get it done.
So they didn't have any, like, sort of English translated things.
English stuff is, if it's there, it's usually very bad. And if it's not, I just screen translate. And it usually works pretty good. So,
like, Japanese, like, that culture likes English a lot.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing for China?
Not as much, no. Yeah, they kind of avoid it.
Huh. Okay.
There was some stuff in English, but not all of it was. And that was the problem, right? Yeah. If it's not all, then it's like, oh God, I don't know what this thing is. But I'm getting on the plane, and they're scanning... I look at the plane, and in first goes 6 people in hazmat suits.
Oh.
And they're going there to sanitize the plane entirely.
Okay.
Like they're coming in with chemicals and all sorts of stuff. Like they're cleaning.
That's
Right.
not that out of place.
It's not that out of place, but still seeing them in like the full Among Us outfits, is it's jarring when you're not used to seeing that going into an airplane.
Did you hear the sound go off in your head?
A little bit, yeah. But then we're going in and they're scanning our temperatures, and if you are at a certain temperature, you're not allowed on the plane.
This is stuff that would be weird, but wouldn't freak me out.
Well, here's where it freaked me out. I was wearing a hat, and they scanned foreheads.
Okay.
My forehead was too hot.
Oh, because it was like...
Because it was in the hat.
Oh, no.
In a hot airport. And they said, sir, you are 1 degree over our limit. You have 10 minutes to cool down. Or you have to stay until the next flight, which is in a week.
Oh my God. So you would have been Seattle for a week?
And I'm like, oh my God. And so I basically said, I'm like, look, I am quadruple vaccinated. I had double checked my testing here. I was wearing a hat in a hot room, and I'm moving across the world alone for the first time. I need you to realize I am not sick. This is nerves plus heat plus hat. And so he basically said, okay, we will bring you water and like ice, and you can try and cool down as much as you can. If you get under the temperature, you can go on. How do you force your body to cool down?
Especially when you're stressed about this.
I'm chugging. I'm chewing ice. I'm going like this. I'm, fanning myself. And by the time it gets
I know you, and you were probably freaking out.
I was freaking out, yeah. So I was like, by the end, I was like, it was like coming down to the last couple people. I said, please test me again. Scan me.
And you were good.
I was good. Oh. And I basically said like, oh my God. And he's like, thank you for trying your best to cool down. Like, you did what was needed. I'm like, okay. So I fly.
How long was it?
It's like 11 hours. Honestly, I've flown across the world a number of times now. So by this point, it's whatever. Flight was fine. The weird thing, all of the stewardesses were in the Among Us outfits. Full covering. It's a bit weird.
Okay.
2, because they can't distribute food over the flight, right? Because for safety purposes. Instead, they basically gave all of the food all at once in a bag that's resealable. So then at any time in the flight, you just grab in there, you pick it in. It's all stuff that's just easy to pop in. A lot of snacks, right? So that was kind of weird because normally on a plane, you're just like, eat when it's mealtime, but now it's like just eat wherever, right?
Yeah.
So I get there, I get to the airport, and I felt like I was being abducted by aliens. Because, let me explain. I get out of the plane and I'm told, oh, you're the foreigner coming here to work. You need to stay on the plane. You'll be going separate from everyone else who is Chinese. I was the only person there who was not a citizen. So I was separated from everyone. So here I am waiting on the plane, and they say we need to bring you a special shuttle only for you that will take you to the quarantine hotel.
Okay.
Because you're a foreigner, you have to quarantine over COVID for a week there, right?
Yeah.
But here I am, alone, being escorted by 3 people in full hazmat suits, of which none speak English. And I was being...
So how are you understanding them?
Trying my best. Lot of hand signals. Lot of loan words. They get 1 or 2 words in English, and that's about it.
Were you warned about this kind of stuff beforehand?
Nope. But listen, this isn't even the best part. I'm brought through the airport, and the majority of the airport is closed down due to COVID. It looked abandoned.
Oh,
there was
scary.
It was no lights were on. I was walking in the dark. They just had flashlights. The buildings were all boarded up or with like cloth draped over them.
Yeah.
And again, I was being escorted by 3 people in full hazmat suits, none of which spoke English, to a place where I really don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I was being abducted by aliens. Like, I went through an experience that felt like that. Because whenever they needed me to move somewhere or do something, they would just say something in a language I don't understand. They would point, or they would, kind of nudge me over. And I'm like, I don't know. I use my translator and I try my best, but I'm like, I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
They would give me paperwork. I can't read what's on it. I'm scanning it. I'm trying to figure it out. Finally, it's all good. I get into a bus with a lot of other people that are now, these are all the tourists or, foreigners coming in. We're getting onto the bus.
So more,
there
more
are
familiar,
more, right? Because I was just the only one coming from Seattle. So we get in, we get driven to our quarantine hotel, and that's what it is. It's basically, we're put into hotel rooms for a week. And in that week time, we are given 3 meals a day. And otherwise we might be given paperwork, or we're given like check-ins and a mission every day. A mission. It'll be like, fill out this paperwork, or phone someone who you can get in contact with so we can know who you're going with, or all sorts of stuff, right? So the food was a bit of a problem. And not because it was bad, not because there was too little. It was too much and extremely authentic. Meaning, this was not food my body knew how to eat. I would get this food and it would be...
So, sorry to cut you, but this was the stuff you were like filming at the time?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of remember that stuff.
I was filming some of the stuff there. I did a few videos of the quarantine food. And it, so here's the thing. It was good food, but the smell, the taste, the texture, my body was like, what is this? I don't know what this is. And like, some of it was fine. Rice, any of like the meatballs, that was all fine. Fruit, gave me daily fruit. Fruit was pretty good. I'm slightly allergic to fruit, but I was able to get through it because it was, pretty good there. Lots of pears, lots of oranges, it was enjoyable. But like, some of it, I would take a bite and I would just go, nope. And it wasn't because it was bad, but it was just because it was so
foreign.
Yeah. The way it's cooked, the spices, the like, chicken tasted different. Things didn't taste like what I was used to. And they would give 3 meals a day by the end, I was actually there 2 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, because I needed to be extended there for a little bit because of some paperwork thing.
Okay.
And like, I was kind of going, like, it sucked by the end.
Well, yeah, being in a room
for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's
I downloaded every episode of Adventure Time. And so I got to like season 6. So I binged a ton of that. I'd get up, I'd walk, I'd play my Switch, right? I just did everything I could to try and stay sane.
Did you have to do
showers?
Do like work while you were there?
By the last few days, I actually did need to try and teach lessons online.
Oh.
Because it went so long that school started.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right? Because of the extension there, school started and they're like, we kind of need you teaching. So I basically online taught some of the students there. The Wi-Fi was terrible, so it didn't go great.
So your like kind of first experience with teaching
was
class to another country was through online. Okay.
Which
I want to hear about that too.
Yeah, because I was worried. I'm like, do they know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like at first, because you're doing the online teaching, and I'm like, they're just kind of sitting there listening to me, and I'm like, I don't know if they understand what I'm saying. And all my worries were gone when after I sort of said, okay, this is your task for today, guys. You can get working on this. A student came up to the mic and was like, "Hello, teacher. I have a slight question for you.
Why is he British?"
Because whatever they learned English from, they get the accents from.
I guess Britain and that is closer to China.
Well, no, it's like some of them, they paid more attention to British media than American media, so they got British accents. Some of them learned English through American, like some of them learned it from Marvel. They sound Californian. Some of them learned it from Doctor Who. They sound, British.
Interesting.
And so, yeah, he comes up and he's like, hello, I have a few questions. For this one, would you like us to do this? And like, I was like, okay, these guys, no issues whatsoever. They're good, right?
I don't think whoever is in control of your life at this point would throw you into a class with students who don't know what you're saying. Right?
Yeah, right. That'd be wild.
Yeah.
So thankfully, yeah, that was all good. So I get done. Quarantine hotel's over. Worth mentioning, quarantine hotel not in the city I'm in.
Okay.
I basically was put into like a city that was basically a quarantine city for whenever people fly in, they go there and then they can take the plane to their destination after. So, okay, I need to fly to my actual destination. And what it was meant to be was, just hold on to those words. I go to another quarantine hotel for 3 days there. I quarantine there and then I get to go to my apartment.
Okay.
That was what it was meant to be. The person who was supposed to get me to my quarantine hotel didn't.
I think I remember this.
He instead brought me to my apartment.
Uh-oh.
It's worth mentioning, I don't have a key to my apartment. It is 2 a.m, a rainy night in China. I am in a place where I don't know where I am. They bring me to my apartment, and the guy in the full hazmat suit says, "Open the door." And I look at him like, "What?" And he's like, "Open the door."
Yeah.
And I'm saying, "I don't have a key." And he looks at me and he's like, "What?" And then I tell him, "I was meant to go to a quarantine hotel." And he said this was the address I was given. So I'm calling around. Thankfully, I had a teaching assistant who basically said, like, "It's my job to get you here." And she said, "Call anytime." Well, it's 2 a.m, I'm calling.
Yeah.
And she says, like, "I can get you a key, but I'm an hour away."
Oh, that's not.
Right? And so it's like, whatever. But what happens is, remember how I said my landlord's my neighbor?
Okay.
He comes out for his 2 a.m. smoke break. He sees us, and he actually was able to open the door because he has a spare key.
Awesome.
So we had to come to the concession of the airport screwed up. I'm not at a quarantine hotel. I'm now at my apartment, which has its ups and downs. The up is that I'm there and my internet will be fine until they realized my Wi-Fi doesn't work, so I couldn't teach online. Great. The other the problem is that means I don't have a meal plan in place.
Oh.
And I'm stuck in my apartment
for those 3 days.
For 3
but
days.
They think you're there.
Yeah.
Or whoever.
Yeah. I don't have food.
Oh.
Or water. So of the water situation, because I had, like, normally you're supposed to get, like, the water there, they say they don't recommend to drink it from the faucets. So what I did was I boiled some, I put it in the fridge, and then that purifies it, right? So I was able to get some ready to use, just purified water. That was fine. The food situation was basically me messaging my aide and begging, saying, "Please, can't you just, like, go to the convenience store, get me a bunch of stuff and just drop it off in front of my place?" And she did.
Okay.
She did, which was good there. So I did get, food there. For a little bit, I was living kind of poverty style with, like, all I got was a few packets of just instant food, like instant ramen, kind of like frozen sausage or just fridge sausages that you can just open up. It's sort of like a cheese string, but meat. It's pretty good. They're pretty good little things. A lot of just little snacks like that. And so I was able to last a little bit there. So once that was done, I actually was not able to go to the school for another week after that, but at least my quarantine was done so I can get up and around. Here's the next problem. China is a cashless society.
I guess.
They don't use cash at all. You can't pay for stuff with cash. Cash is pretty much, at this point, like, the main use for cash is taking it to the bank and turning it into digital money, because they have fully gone out of money. I only have cash, and I don't have a bank account to use, to use anything else. So getting food was a bit of a problem. No restaurants would accept me because they all use digital only. Some supermarkets did.
Okay.
So I was able to find one or two that I basically had to say, like, "I'm sorry, I'm new here. All I have is cash." And they're, like, used to dealing with old people who still use cash. So I was able to pay for stuff like that.
Nice.
So for a bit, I was in a situation where I'm like, I don't have the ability to pay for stuff, even though I have money,
Yeah.
but I can't pay.
You can't participate in the economy.
Yeah,
really.
that was a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
As soon as I got my bank account, I felt like I finished the tutorial of a video game and my world opened up, because literally that's what it was like. As soon as I was able to pay for whatever, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I love cashless society. It's so good. And like so it's actually the cashless app is done by Tencent. You know, the company that's kind of eating a bit of everything in the world.
Yeah.
But they make really good stuff. And the nice thing is, it's sort of like, you know how your internet like if I want to transfer you just $18, it's kind of a pain in the butt, right?
Yeah.
It's like I open up the texting app, I press send money, and it's instant. It's just like that.
You enter the money amount and then send.
Yeah, that's it. And then they just click it. And then it says, and they get it. Even if I go to a restaurant, I can create, or if I already have one, which I probably do, in the group chat of me and the 4 people that are at the restaurant, I press plus, I hit split bill.
What?
And with split bill, I then enter how much each person owes. I pay for the full meal, and then everyone pays me their amount. Like, there's a request money feature.
It's
really
convenient.
It's really convenient. And because it's all done by Tencent and stuff, everything there is by Tencent, which means everything is just compatible with each other.
It's a good thing and a bad thing.
It is good and bad. But like, for instance, go to restaurants, no menus, it's all QR code. Scan the QR.
Well, that's what they do. Like a lot of places here do now.
But mandatory everywhere.
Yeah.
Where the difference is, every single place uses the same app, the same technology. That app is the same app you pay for your stuff with.
Also good and bad.
Also good and bad. Well, the nice thing...
If that system goes down, pretty much...
It's not going to go down here. That's what I've learned. Because
like,
Tencent is so powerful, it's not going down.
Like, there's no instance where it can get, like, hacked or...
It's so... Because it's the government.
I guess.
It's the government.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's so powerful there. They will not go down. At least in my time. And what I asked about that, and they said it's not going to. They said it won't. So the nice thing is, yeah, everything works the same there. The last sort of thing before I was fully let free into a normal world, was for a while there was health codes for COVID. Just like with us, you know how you had to get the card and all that stupid stuff? Well, for them, they don't have a card, it was an app.
Okay.
And the app would be, you would show it, and it would show if you're healthy or not. The only problem was that the app needed daily testing. Specifically, you had a leeway of 3 days. But for going to school, for teaching, it needed to be daily.
How does it test you through your phone?
Well, no, you'd have to go to a testing area, which were set up everywhere.
I assume so.
There was a lot of them, because you have to remember, the population of the city I was in is almost as much as our country. The city is as much as the country.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I'm in a small city.
Mm-hmm.
So you go for the testing, but the problem is they need the results before you head to work. Which meant getting up 5 o'clock in the morning every morning, going for my testing. They send the results in, and then I'm able to go to work. So for a while there, I was getting up real early, getting a stick shoved down my throat, at least. It wasn't nose. If it was nose, that would suck.
Yeah.
But it was throat testing. I got very used to that. And then basically that lasted for 4 months, roughly.
Huh.
And then by right around, it was January, where they basically said, we're killing the economy. We need to open up. We need to stop having everything be closed. It's killing the economy. So the government said, fine, we'll open up. And everyone got COVID. It was a shotgun blast.
Yeah.
And they timed it pretty well, because it was during Chinese New Year, which was a time basically everyone's off
Why
work.
would they open it then?
Because everyone's off work.
I guess.
Everything's shut down anyways. No, all the stores are closed.
Yeah.
Chinese New Year is the time when everyone's already done. They're just hanging out with family. So they unleash it then. Everyone gets it. Over our Christmas break there, we're all sick as dogs. I got out pretty good because I'm quadruple vaxxed.
Yeah.
Some people didn't get out as good. But then after that, after the New Year's done, we come back. Everything's open. Society has resumed as normal. And oh my God, it was like just things worked so well. Public transport, ride the subway anywhere, take the train, call a taxi. It's cheap. Getting across town, like I could take okay. Me getting to the airport was about a 2-hour thing because of torrential rain and there was rain up to, halfway up the car. The dude had to go around multiple ways. It took like 2 hours to get there. It was an adventure.
Yeah.
The total cost
2 hours.
for 2 hours going almost 100 kilometers, $22.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, that's about as much as it would take to get me to like uptown on a taxi here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Things are just mad cheap. The taxi is getting anywhere. I could go anywhere. No, I mean the subway system. I could go anywhere to anywhere, and it's $1.
Huh.
$1, and it just. How do I take the thing? I walk up to the subway station, scan my wallet, boop. I go in, I ride where I want, scan it on the way out, boop. Money's out. Instant.
That's really
That's
convenient.
It's so convenient.
So where do the negatives come in?
The negatives are...
Also, we're almost at an hour and we're still talking about China.
Oh, yeah.
So
We're going to be talking about it for a little bit, probably, because it's kind of there's a lot to talk about with it.
I mean, this might end up being like a 5-hour thing.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, what we've been playing, watching, reading is going to be a lot less, because honestly, I was out and about and doing so much more. Like, there was days where I'd be like, yeah, I have Metroid Prime, at home to play, but there's a whole world.
Yeah.
And so I would just go out on adventures. I guess the negatives are whatever negatives come from being in a city. It never sleeps, which means at night can get a bit loud.
Yeah, okay.
Some other negatives are anytime you got to deal with like a broken thing, I had to call the landlord. Landlord has to find time to fix it. That's
the main thing for if you live in an apartment, right?
Yeah. It's like the only downsides I had were really just like city and apartment stuff. Stuff like there's a couple in the apartment because I was in a 31-story apartment complex.
Wow.
Yeah. It's funny. There was more people in my gated community than there are in our entire town here.
Wow.
It's because
really?
There are 31 stories. On each story of this apartment, there are 10 apartments.
You're saying there's like
just wait. For each of those, there are that's all together there. But there are 15 31-story 10 apartment apartments in the community, and that's just half of it. Go over the highway, there's another 15 of those buildings.
Holy.
Yeah, that's my gated complex. That's more people than our entire town here.
So that kind of reminds me that like China's like they're vertical.
Very vertical.
Vertical, like
very
society,
vertical.
not society, but
yeah,
their infrastructure.
Very vertical.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But the nice thing is, so you have all this like super concentrated living area, but what's around it? Malls. So many malls. There are within walking distance from my apartment, and not even long walking distance, but just like short walking distance, there's probably 15 malls
Oh my god.
the size of our malls here. Full size.
Really?
And each one full with unique stores and food and attractions. They are.
No wonder
There's so
you
many.
weren't staying in your apartment.
Yeah, because it's just like there's so much.
Yeah, I'd be doing the same thing, honestly.
There's so much to explore.
Yeah.
Inside, outside. Some days I'll go for a walk and there's a mountain. What's a mountain doing here?
It's just a damn mountain?
Yeah, well, because it's built like around the mountains, basically. And so in the middle of the city, there's a couple mountains. So I'm just like, there's a mountain. I climb a mountain. I'll go and I'll be like, there's the ocean there. I'll walk across by the ocean, right? And so, yeah, I was out and about and doing so much.
And were you like by yourself for the majority of this stuff?
Almost, I'd say 99% of the time I was alone.
Wow.
Because you just go wherever. A few times I went out with coworkers, we'll go places. But for the most part, it was just like, I'll just be like, it's Saturday. I don't have anything to do. I pick a direction and walk. And I just go and see what's that direction.
You don't have a fear of like getting lost?
No, because here's the thing. No matter where I go, if I ever get in a place where I'm like, oh man, what do? I just open up my phone, press the taxi button, and I taxi home. Because it's just all right there.
Huh.
And so I've done that a few times. I'll just walk super far, and I'll be like, I'm too tired to walk back. Boop. Call a taxi.
And like they're like, how much? Like $2 to get back?
$2-3.
Wow.
Right? Mad cheap. And so it felt like a video game. It felt like fast travel. Right? It was just like, yeah, just call it, and like, yeah, they come. Takes a bit of time, It was just, everything about it was kind of a perfect society. Like, it truly felt like I found real life. Like, it's funny because, like, I'm back here now and I'll drive around and I'm like, it doesn't feel right. There's just so much nothing here. Like there's
here?
there's just so much nothing here.
Oh, like all the prairie land and everything?
Yeah. Or it'll just be like, I'll be out and about and I don't know. It's like, I'm so used to looking at a building. And when I look at a building, that's not just a building. That's like 15 stories of different buildings.
Yeah.
That's like every store is like 20 stores in one. And anything you want, anything. I had anything that I wanted within walking distance.
Wow.
Any service, any food, anything at all, right? Yeah, right? And some things I would do for fun. One of my favorite things I discovered, massages.
Oh.
Massages and spas. Getting just beat up by an attractive woman is quite nice. Just getting completely just
of course
like
these are cheap.
Mad cheap.
Yeah.
Right?
Did you get any benefits with your schooling?
Not really.
No?
No,
Okay.
not really.
Or teaching?
I mean, I got some stuff is paid for by like, I'll pay for some health stuff and then they will reimburse me, right? It's not like a real benefit where it's just like, here's a card, get it done instantly. It's like, no, it's reimbursement style.
Okay. But the massages, like how expensive were they?
Like between
And is this like
$20 and $100 depending on how much I do.
And like how much do you get out of that 100?
So, okay, let's say I go in and I get the $100, the nice one.
Okay.
Depending on where I go.
Because I'm going to make a comparison at the end of this.
Okay.
Keep going.
Depending on where I go, it could be a couple things. Let's go with regular first, because there's a few special ones I went to.
Okay.
The first one that I would go to would be like, I go in, and so they say, all right, please change. I change into these little booty shorts, always little booty shorts.
Yeah.
I lie on a bed. They give me, they oil me up. They massage me down.
Sounds like a massage.
They will give me food, usually little oranges. Sometimes, as one place I went to, they actually gave me melon soup. A nice sweet soup to enjoy.
So this is the $100 tier.
This is the $100 tier. I'm not done yet.
No, I'm just...
So because I don't have a bathtub at my place, my apartment is very much a it's It's a shower room.
Yeah.
So the whole room is a shower, basically. So no place to like sit down and relax. So one part of that is after the initial massage, I get to go into a bathtub. Usually warmed with not just water, but they'll put in a little bit of milk in there, get your body nice and smooth, right? The lady will come and scrub my back for me. That is really nice. And then once we're done, get up, dry off, and then they do one sort of final massage usually. So usually it'll be like, focusing on either the back or the feet, wherever they kind of need, or they might come in with the tools to give me an ear cleaning.
Oh.
And an ear cleaning is the lady sits up on the bed, she kneels down, she says, okay, put your head on my lap. You lay on her lap, and she digs into your ears and cleans them out with a tool.
Huh.
And it's really nice.
Do they ever offer like pedicures type of thing?
There are some, but that's usually a different establishment, not this type.
Okay.
Yeah, there are ones that do, but it would be a different type of spa there.
So are you done with this?
I'll just say, so that's kind of like the normal one. One that I went to that's similar is it does all that, but before you do that, they have what's called a shower bed. I want you to imagine like a ritual platform, like in the middle of like a ceremony.
Yeah.
Normally you'd imagine it kind of lit, like an altar, like lit with candles around it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. I lay on that, again, in the little booty shorts.
So it's an altar with a bed on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then the lady comes with a shower head on a kind of pull out one that you can aim around, like a hose.
Those are nice, yeah.
And I'm laying on this altar, and she gives me a shower. She washes and scrubs me, who's just chilling on an altar.
Huh.
And will clean everywhere for me.
That's interesting.
And it's a massage plus a shower at the same time. She'll even, at one point, because like where my head is, I'm kind of sitting on this thing, and beneath it is a basin. One part of it will be, she'll come in and give me like a really good shampoo massage,
I love those.
right? Like getting right
Those
in with the
parts,
nails, right?
Those are my favorite part of the haircuts, by the
Oh,
way.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, getting in, and yeah, so it's one part of that is just you're lying on the bed, and
this plus everything
it's
else you previously
warm.
mentioned.
Yeah. So,
And this was around $100.
yeah.
Canadian.
Yeah. And so so that's
So
that's that.
for my girlfriend's birthday, I took her to a spa.
Mm-hmm.
It was a package. So what you get is you get an arm massage.
Yep.
The typical arm massage. Then you get a pedicure, and then you get like a little fondue tray, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. $400.
Yeah, that's about
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like after that, I'm like, this was nice, but no, that was not worth.
It's also worth
$400.
mentioning if I buy a membership, which is basically like pre-purchasing ones, I get discounts on it.
Like, see, like that's
So if I spend $400 roughly, I would instead get like 12 of them I can redeem whenever.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Things are so cheap. Things are so cheap. And I'll be honest, all the women doing it are very pretty.
I'm sure you have to be a little bit attractive.
They're
to get
very
those jobs.
pretty. And like,
But that whole
it's
showering
really nice.
it really makes me think like how it kind of contradicts in my head because of how like body shaming they are with like if you're bigger type of thing, but they're so
here's the thing.
exposed.
When you have money, they don't care.
They don't care. Okay.
Also the thing with the bodies is there is like the kind of the body shaming, but it comes from a place of we want you to be the best you can be. So it's sort of like,
so it's not like bullying, it's more like
no,
encouraging.
it's they encourage you
Okay.
to be healthy. And I mean, at the end of the day, like if you were to ask like why are you encouraging me to be healthy, this answer will scare people, but it's because you represent the country and the country needs strong people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which when you say that, people go like, ooh, but it's like, yeah, I mean, that's what it is. A country is as strong as its people, right?
Yeah,
And so for them, that's what a lot of it is. Why are you a good person? Because it's for the good of the country, and the country needs good people, right? And yeah, so there is a lot of patriotism.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
Yeah,
It's like
there's a lot of
patriotic.
patriotism. But at the same time, it's again like some people think it's like forced patriotism. It feels authentic for everyone. It felt no different than like the I Am Canadian commercials or people wearing Canada branded clothing or like in classrooms there being a Canadian flag up there. It felt no different from that. But it's just people are quite like, yeah, I want to do good because I'm doing good for my country. Which again, if you say it here, people are like,
especially in the States, or like it's so the ideas of patriotism are so different.
Huge. Yeah.
Like the gaps between them.
Yeah.
It's like it's interesting.
It is very interesting. Yeah, no, for sure. So
what about the actual teaching? Like how is that?
Oh my goodness.
Like the point you were there. All right. Like
so one, I teach about half the time I would be teaching back home. So I've never in my time teaching here had breaks in the day. I've never had spares to do homework, or not homework, but marking or to prepare. I've never had time not teaching before. Some days I only teach for half the day because that's it. That's all they need me to do. Right? And schools here would be like, oh, if you have time off, that's time for you to go in and help another class. Or that's time for you where you have to do this other special thing. But here, they actually said, if you're done, go home. Go home. Do whatever you want. It's your time, right? Lunchtime. Leave. Go home. Which is not allowed here. Here, it's like you're in the school from start of the day to end of the day. Even if you have time off, even if you're not teaching at that time, you have to be in the building. That's the rules here. There, it's like, oh, what's that? You only teach one block in the day? You only have to come to that block. Do whatever you want in the morning. Come for your block. Do whatever you want after that. They don't care.
And there's no like pressure to go above the Call of Duty type of thing.
No.
Really?
No. I mean, they want me to be the best I can be, which is absolutely. But
they don't expect like extra work.
Never.
All the time.
No. They're very much. It's very chill. The classes are so it's interesting. I had some classes that were smaller than teaching here. Right. I had some classes where I'd only have like 20 students, which is quite nice. Right. My grade 10s though, I had 40 grade 10s, which is
in one class.
That's
a lot.
It's a lot. The room is nice and big, thankfully. Okay. And
are they like the kind of circular ones, or are they just kind of square?
So okay, you know how ours are kind of usually square, but they're like horizontal. Yeah. These ones are square, but like vertical. It's a deep room.
Oh.
Like yeah, they're rectangular, but they're deep. They're deep and they go in. It's a bit different. And it's more of a building thing, I think.
Yeah, I guess.
I think it's just the way the building is.
I wonder like how much harder it would be to hear and learn all the way back there type of thing.
They're pretty good for that because the room does echo pretty good. Okay. And I project my voice quite well.
Yeah, you're very good at that.
In general though, like we were in a separate building than the actual Chinese program. So because of that, it is a bit different. But I'll say this, I was on a campus. This wasn't just a high school. This was a campus. The students live there.
Oh.
And it has restaurants.
Well, of course.
It has areas outside. It looks like a college sort of campus.
Yeah.
Right? So it is, it was quite different. It was a beautiful campus though. I would just be stunned.
You kept talking how nice it was.
It's beautiful. It's so maintained. And that's one thing I'll say. China's clean.
Is it?
It's a clean place.
There's not like newspapers
and I'll tell you why. Their cleaning crews go out at 3 and 4 in the morning. They're paid to clean everything.
And I'm sure they're paid well.
They're not only paid well, they get the job done. There's like Chinese New Year, fireworks going off, people celebrating, people go out drinking, tons of partying, tons of garbage everywhere. At night, I wake up in the morning, it's gone.
Wow.
It's gone. Like,
I wish we had that here.
Efficiency.
Yeah.
Construction is done in a day or two. They set it up, they do it, it's done.
Yeah.
It's so instant, right? Everything is done very
construction
efficiently.
Here takes like 5 months.
There's stuff under construction here that was under construction when I left. right?
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, it's ridiculous, the differences in efficiency.
And like, where does that stem from then?
It stems from the fact that everyone works together as a unit.
Yeah.
Again, it comes from that communist idea
Well,
of,
that's a scary word.
I know, and it's a scary word. Let me tell you, it's a scary word, but when I talk to them about it, they're like, what's the thing to be afraid of? It's the exact, like, my students look at me and they're like, you come from a country that's the same as us. Because where they're at is basically Canada. Like, it's that level. But the difference is they're not afraid of that comparison. And they are more happy to work together. Right? They look at that and they see, like, yeah, if we need to work together, we work together. Right? But at the same time, it's like all the tenets of capitalism are there. I can go and buy stuff. There's products from around the world. People have money. People have property. That's all the same. It's just people are more ready to work together, and stuff like healthcare and construction and cleanup crews is all run by the government. That's it.
And I'm doing a research report in one of my classes right now, and they were talking about oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. Keep going, and then I'll come back to you.
Okay. What else is there to talk about? I mean, yeah, it's just really, really.
Oh, Amazon purchases, right? Because so if someone in China or Japan they focus more on the positive reviews, because the more people who are positive, the more they care about that. Whereas we tend to look at the negative stuff and the stuff that points out, and the stuff that's individual. Because we're such an individual society, whereas they're more collective type of thing, and that's really interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Buying stuff online, super easy.
Is it?
Do it all the time. Amazon, not big there.
Really?
They have a lot of their own unique services. It's funny because, like,
that type of stuff.
Yeah, kind of, some of it. Alibaba, which is kind of their big one there. I mean, all the stuff that's on like wish.com and stuff. So that's a whole one section. But that's not everything. That stuff is, yeah, you can get the cheap knockoff stuff for super cheap, and you can get cheap knockoff stuff of whatever you want. But
it's not like a monopoly like it is here for online stuff.
But it's not even, like, that's just not everything there. If I want to get legitimate stuff, I just go to the part of the site that's only dedicated to legitimate stuff.
Okay.
And so it's like, yeah, they basically have the site split in two. There's the one part of the site, because they have two things. They have Taobao, which is their just like general, anyone can put up anything. It's eBay. Anyone can put up anything, and you don't know if it's official or not. You read the reviews and it tells you, right? And if things are cheap, it's probably too good to be true, right? But then they have what's called Tmall, which is their own brand. It's like buying stuff directly from Amazon, and it's all official stuff.
Did you get this stuff like in person or online?
I got some of that was Tmall and some of that was Taobao.
Okay.
So like the watch was Tmall, it's official, right? The acrylic stand, that was Tmall, that's official. The cards was Taobao, so I think those are like fan made, right? But I mean, they look good. And I think the you can tell it's Taobao because it's like wrapped in the Plants vs Zombies, right? So buying stuff online is cheap and easy and fast. Get everything that I needed shipped in for me. Nice thing is I actually found a English client for Taobao, meaning I can buy stuff not only in English, but I can use Canadian money. So before I got my credit card set up, because I obviously couldn't buy stuff online with, cash.
Yeah.
I was able to buy stuff with my Canadian money. So I actually bought a few things like a coffee maker. I bought some pasta and stuff, like some non-perishable, easy use sort of items. Clothes, I bought a bunch of stuff that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything else teach-wise that I guess
what I'll just say is the students are brilliant. The class average is about 95.
That's crazy.
And like they will fight for hundreds. They will, like, if I give a project, they will say, like, and if I give them a 97, they would look at me and say, "Teacher, please tell me what I did wrong. I will make the changes. I want to get 100." And they will do anything to get those marks.
But is that from like the parent stuff? Those high expectations of parents, or
partially?
Yeah.
Partially. It is worth mentioning, we're not a public school. we're a private school, and we're the top one of the like 3 top schools for all of Eastern China.
Okay.
So like we're a prestigious like
Mm.
academy.
Like it's like what's that school in States that everyone like the prestigious school you go to in the States?
Yeah, but those are usually like colleges. Like
Oh,
those,
these are high schools.
this is a this is a private high school.
High schools don't really have that like stigma.
Yeah, we don't have that because for us, no matter what high school you go to, it's going to be roughly the same.
Yeah.
Right. In the States, they do have that, where depending on your area, you can have better or worse high schools. But this one is like, this is a high school that is a high school for people that are high achievers. And if you're in the English program, you're a high achiever who wants to go to an international English university. And so it's a place that people will pay big dollars to send their children and to get the best education.
That must feel good to be in that setting.
It is.
I'm sure you've had your fair share of imposter syndrome there.
A little bit, but surprisingly not much.
Really?
And I think it's
because you have that issue a lot of the time, right?
Sometimes, yeah. But I think one of the big things is that because there's only like, there was for a while only 3 other staff members with me. Like it's me, the principal, and 2 other teachers. And so because of that, there isn't this high expectation of what I need to be as a teacher. They're fine with me being me because they hired me for me. They didn't hire me to be this high and mighty
to fill a role
teacher. They hired me because they need an English teacher from our province who will teach like we're in our province. And because of that, I'm doing what they need me to do. And I'm going to say, this is the only job I've ever had where I've been praised for being me. I've never had that experience anywhere else. I've always been told I'm either doing what is required of me and not a compliment. That's just, you're doing your job. Okay. Or I'm told you need to be less of you and do the job more, or do it my way. This was the first time where I've basically been able to come in, say, hi, I'm Tanner. These are my ideas. And I'm told, oh my God, those ideas are awesome. Oh, you know your stuff. This is great. Or, oh, it's so nice that you have those computer skills. Oh, it's so nice that you're someone who the students can, connect with. Oh, it's so right? This was the first time I've ever been in a job where it didn't feel like a job. It felt like I was actually contributing my own skills to it, and I can be me. Like, I can very clearly and with no problems adapt anything from my own life into my lessons, and people there are happy for that.
Wow.
Right? If I were to say like, oh, I have this idea for English class. I'm going to record footage from a game I've been playing and have the students analyze a portion of it. What am I told? That's amazing. The students will connect with that so well.
Yeah.
That's great. It's a new medium, and it's good because then they can use that to see the differences. I'm told it's creative. It's unique, right? They say you're passionate about it. You must enjoy it. Here, I'd be told, no, you can't do that. Why? Well, because it's different. You can't do that, right? And so, just being able to be told like what I do.
Sounds like they're very open-minded there.
They're so open-minded. And they're very like, even if I do stuff that none of them would ever think of, it's not, I don't know about that. It's, no, that's awesome. Go for it. Right? It's a positive environment. And it's so nice.
That's the best thing you can ask for now.
Yeah.
At a job.
Yeah. And again, like, because the students are all paying big bucks to be there, they want to be there.
Yeah.
They want to be there. There's like maybe like 1 or 2 students that are there because the parents are putting them to be there, and they're kind of like whatever. But I mean, like, that's 1 or 2. Usually it's the other way around. Usually it's 1 or 2 want to be there and the rest hate it, right? And like,
because you've shared your experience with other classrooms here.
It's awful.
It's awful, yeah.
Right? and it's even the level of respect is just so much different.
Yeah.
Being a teacher there, oh my God, you're given so much respect. You say you're a teacher, and they look at you and they say, "How much can I give you a discount on this?" You know?
Wow.
And I tell them I'm a teacher, and like I'm being told, you know, I'm doing such a service for their children and the country.
Yeah.
I'm being told like we'll do anything that you ask of us, right?
Here you're yelled at.
Here, I mean, when I was driving to Calgary to get my official documentation done, there was billboards that were saying, "Stop the brainwashing, homeschool your children."
Yeah.
Like, come on.
All that stuff.
There's
yeah.
anti-teacher sentiments here out the wazoo.
Yeah.
They hate us here, right? And yeah, there's none of that. It's like teachers and schools are given funding and respect, and it's so nice.
That's nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
I think that about covers a lot of my stuff in China.
okay. Nice.
So,
So,
how's your life been?
that's been going.
Going,
Not
yeah.
nearly as good, probably.
Yeah, this is gonna be not an hour and a half.
Well, since you've left,
Mhm.
I've lived in your place.
Yep.
For a few months, and then my girlfriend offered to have me live with her and her parents. 2 hours away from the city, so I'm now in a rural environment. I don't really like go out and party in the first place, so it's not really a
That's fair. Yep.
kind of a culture change. People are a lot nicer out there, I find.
Interesting. Nice.
They're a lot nicer. But yeah, it's kind of nice that it isn't very busy at all. It's you go out, and when it is busy, I'm like, why is it so busy? Like, there's a reason why. It's not just the typical busyness. There's like an event, and the community there is very like tight knit. Everyone knows everyone, type of thing. Besides that, I've been starting school in marketing.
Yeah.
That's been going good. I was going through 3 classes, but I'm like, this is too much already. And this is the first time I'm doing online courses, which is a very kind of different thing to get used to.
It's different. It's for sure.
And I'd rather take 2 classes right now to kind of feel it through. And I'm doing an asynchronous and an synchronous class.
Nice.
And I wish both were synchronous, because like being like there with other people, even if
there's an encouragement when you're with other people to go through
and kind of like a what's the word? I don't know the word, but to want to be there type of thing.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, you can do the work whenever you want, and it's not really a guideline.
I'm a procrastinator. I can't do asynchronous. I put that stuff off.
Yeah.
I'm bad for that.
But funny enough, the asynchronous class, I'm like acing. I'm like getting the hundreds in like every assignment I'm given. But I think it's because the professor likes me, and I'm like one of the few students who actually like reaches out to her and asks her questions.
That helps. Yep.
Yep. And my project or my research paper is focused on Nintendo Directs. And
Perfect.
she's like, "Oh, I love Nintendo. Like,
perfect.
Can't wait to see what you come
there
up
you
with."
Go.
While the synchronous class, which is the intro to marketing, it's the introduction to like this whole kind of world that I'm realizing like the world centers around marketing.
Yep.
And there's so much to learn. Like every class, there's like, here's another thing about marketing. Here's branding. Here's product lines. Here's all of these acronyms and everything. And it's a lot to take in. And there's a course long assignment. There's like backpack simulation that we have to come up with a product, price it, where to sell it, and how to sell it type of thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's difficult. Like, trying to, my main thing right now is the whole advertising and promotion of marketing.
Yeah.
It's because it's very like, it is a rickety bridge. It's like if you advertise too much here, you lose your target market, and it's a lot to get into. But as someone who's very like observational and who doesn't like to be in the spotlight, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, this is what's happening, and then how can we change it, and then how would the people react to that type of thing. I'm more motivated to do it because I've learned between the last time I was in school to now, I've learned that you're gonna have your bad days. You're gonna have your days where you question everything. With like, why am I here? Like, do I actually like this type of thing? And last time I was in journalism and I had that thing, and I still feel like I did the right choice of dropping it because it really wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But here it's like things are gonna get tough,
Mhm.
but I think it's definitely something I'm more aligned with than before. I do wish I was in person though, but I'm like living free right now. Like I don't have to pay a rent thing right now.
That's helpful.
And her parents are so nice. Like
Nice.
it just like we have our own, like we built, like when I first moved there, the basement was just full of stock and everything, but now it's like a livable space. We redid the bedroom down there. It's a completely different look to everything. Painted it, put baseboards in.
Nice.
Just made it really. And what I'm learning too is they do a lot of stuff they learn by themselves type of thing. In my childhood, it was kind of like everything was done for me, not voluntarily, but like I wasn't really made to do anything. So a lot of the things I'm learning nowadays is like stuff I should have learned a lot of time. But now I'm like learning like how to like use these tools, like like use a barbecue type of thing, right? Because I've never used one before. Like it's all been done for me before, and that's really something I really appreciate right now where I'm at.
Yeah.
It does feel, because I don't have a full-time job anymore. I'm working a weekend job. I don't have a lot of money anymore. It kind of feels like I'm resetting my whole life, but I'm in school. I'm working my way back up.
Yeah.
And with marketing too, it's when I was learning about it through the NATE program, it involves a lot of worldwide travel, like going across the world to market different things in different areas. That's something I'm definitely looking forward to when I do get to that point.
Yeah.
Because I've realized I kind of want to see the world, and doing that for work is probably the best way you can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm envious of you that you're able to do that, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, I have 2 cats now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Pico and Earl.
Good names.
They're very, they're a good take team.
Yeah.
If you get that. Yeah, I love them to death. I've always wanted cats. I used to hate cats, truth be told, but now that I've lived with them with previous roommates, but now that I have my own, it's
different.
It really feels like you have kids.
Yeah.
Like without the whole like human side of it.
Yeah.
Like you're always thinking about them, like how can you make their life the best they can.
Yeah.
Like feeling bad, like when you do something bad to them, like in terms of maybe stepping on their paw or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's definitely different from living with them instead of like owning them, right?
Yeah.
And seeing them grow up and being like, oh, they're getting so big now, like
yeah
type of thing. It's really nice it's kind of like a test for actual children, I think.
Yeah.
Besides that, yeah, just kind of working away at that type of thing. Yeah. So not an hour and a half long like you, but you also are a very good storyteller, whereas I'm not.
That's
nearly as well. So
yeah.
But yeah, should we get into it?
Get into what we've been playing / watching / reading?
Yeah. It's been a hot minute.
Bit.
Things have come out.
True. Though, like I say, like I haven't actually been doing too much. Pretty much almost everything that I've done was what I would do to make videos. There was a few other things. One thing is I didn't bring my PS5 with me.
Okay.
So I actually needed to buy one there.
Yeah. Which
was easy. And I got it. And I just hooked it up and cloud saves all my stuff. So that was easy peasy to get done there. So, when I was there, I had my Switch, I had my PS5, and I had my laptop. So because of that, like I had access to whatever I needed. I had to get a VPN, right? To be able to actually, access the storefronts for home, which, I got that set up. Playing online, not really possible. It's a little slow. Actually, Street Fighter worked really good. I think they have local servers there because I was able to play with some of the boys online.
Yeah.
And it felt smooth.
Huh.
So I think it depends on what I wanted to play. Like Nintendo stuff, not doable.
Really?
Nope.
Especially, well, I don't know if it works this way, but Japan being so close.
Well, the problem is there's just no servers there for China.
Oh.
Right? And if I had to go through a VPN, then it really slows it down. Versus like Capcom and Sony stuff, it actually worked really good. So because they do have servers there. So it just came down to basically where they have servers and what runs, where. But I guess like some of the stuff I have my list here.
Okay.
Of some of the stuff that I played. So one that I didn't do kind of videos on myself, but played Sonic Frontiers.
Okay.
It's a really good game. It's really good. And those updates are making it better. Quite enjoyed that. That was one that I played on my own. And
is Sonic back?
Yes.
Is he back?
Oh, yes.
With this game?
With this and Mania and Superstars.
Which we'll talk about later.
Yeah. He's back. It's yeah. Pokemon Scarlet.
Okay.
That one, again, I did videos on it, but as I said, that'd probably be a top 2 Pokemon game if the performance was a bit better. Everything around it is amazing. The performance does bring it down to maybe top 4.
I feel like the next one is going to be true open world, like stuff that'll actually work. But I don't know, like with the Pokemon.
The actual way it's set up, the thing that gets me, the story. The story and characters are the best they've ever been.
Because there's like 3 arcs, right?
And they all collide together in an amazing way.
Really? Okay.
And
I played it a bit, but I kind of dropped it.
Oh, the ending sequence is like Bayonetta level.
Really?
It is amazing. And do you know why? Toby Fox did it.
Oh.
Not only the music, but he clearly did the story as well. And it is like, you get to that end and you're like, this is the best. This is amazing. Real strong. Very excited for the DLC. Metroid Prime, the remaster.
I played that too.
Ooh, that's a good game.
I love that game.
By the end, I'd say like when you're in kind of the cleanup mode, there was a bit of time where I'm like, okay, let's do this. Like I'm like, okay, let's get to the end. I'll say the very last little bit kind of slogged on a bit where I'm just kind of like, man, I wish I had just even a warp back to just the
the whole
ship.
like having to go on this other side of the world, and you're like,
yeah.
Like for me, I kind of had to like, okay, this is where I'll go, and
I
put on a podcast type of thing because it takes a while.
That's the only real problem I had with it.
But the environments and the graphics make up for it.
I say like 90% of that is like a really good game with 10% of a little meandering and or like I went to the underwater area way too early and there was nothing I could do, so I had to slowly get out of there, and I'm like, oh, that sucks. Street Fighter 6, that game is really good.
Do you have it here?
I have it. It's installed on my PS5 upstairs, so we can play that. Nice thing is, again, I got it digitally, so cloud saves everything I did there. I brought back here with me. That game is remarkable. In the single player is so good. It is the best single player in any fighting game.
Really?
Yeah. It reminds me of Subspace Emissary.
I don't have to spoil it at all because there's probably people who haven't finished it yet, but I heard the ending is kind of like incredible for a fighting game.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
like kind of like existential or like reflective.
It's reflective. It gives you a lot to think about why you play video games.
That's weird.
It's really good.
Is it like Metal Gear Solid 2 level?
Kind of. But also it ends in a way that makes it clear there's going to be a continuation.
Okay.
It's not done, but where it leaves you is really strong. And but the whole mode is fun and full of really good references to like all of Capcom. It's fun. That's a good time. And the actual base gameplay, super fun. Really enjoyable.
Nice.
My game of the year from last year, Witch on the Holy Night. Bruh. It is so good. It is like visual novel that is the peak. It is like someone said this is like the third strike of visual novels.
That's funny.
It is polished experience. And you might be like, how do you do that? And the answer is like, it's like playing a movie. Because there's like cinematic, so think about a visual novel. You have the background and you have the sprite on top of it, right? Instead, they use it they move them around and manipulate them in ways that it's like cinematic camera angles.
Huh.
And like some of the stuff I read, when it's trying to be creepy, is like playing a horror game. There was moments where I was reading stuff that was the scariest stuff I've ever seen in a game. And it's just reading a good novel with amazing cinematic pictures, right? So good. Oh, it was really good. TV show wise, nothing. Nothing. I didn't watch anything. I didn't really have TV there. I didn't really have like streaming was kind of iffy. It would sometimes work and sometimes not. So like I didn't even get to watch almost anything for streaming. YouTube worked, and so it was a lot of YouTube, a lot of 7-8 hour essays on topics I'd never care about otherwise, but nothing really for TV. Movies, though, I did go to theaters and watch movies.
Okay.
Because they don't dub things in Chinese because they want to get it out immediately, so they do subtitled, which means that I just ignore the Chinese subtitles and watch it in English.
So if we're getting into movies, I do want to discuss movies with you.
Okay.
So
I'll just say I only watched 3 while I was there. The first, I don't think you've seen, but I don't have much to talk about, was Avatar 2.
I've seen it.
Do you have anything to say about it?
Not really.
Nope. All I'll say is that I actually really like the climax.
Me too. That's something that stands out in my mind.
It's a strong climax. Yeah. But other than that, I have nothing else to say.
I don't remember most of that movie.
I just remember a strong climax.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
The Mario movie.
Okay, so what did you think of it?
I thought that it was a very fun ride. I also recognize that it is not a good film, but it is a great fan thing to enjoy and was better than what I expected when we heard it was an Illumination Mario movie.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The whole almost every segment I really liked.
Yeah.
I really liked the ending, though it was kind of like, I don't know. It's a kid's movie, so it's like
mild spoilers, very minor spoilers for the end. I'm talking like super minor. One of the last things that Mario and Luigi do in that movie is a Kamen Rider kick. They do 2 of them at once, do a diving kick into Bowser. There was a Chinese kid behind me who went, Rider kick! And was so hyped. It was so good.
That's funny.
Yeah. That's a movie that definitely is for video game fans.
Oh yeah.
But not for general audiences.
But I think this is the beginning of the whole video game adaptation movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because this movie made over $1 billion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the teaser at the end.
Yeah, I was expecting a bigger teaser, honestly.
Really?
I was expecting a lot more than that. The music was the big thing for me.
Oh,
it was like
Peaches?
Was
that as big?
No, I didn't care about that.
Don't care about Peaches?
No, I'm talking about the actual remixes of music from the entire franchise.
Hearing that Mario Kart 8 selection music when they were choosing cars.
Yeah.
That's so good.
There's so much. The soundtrack's amazing. I didn't mind the licensed music. I know some people hate it. I didn't mind it. Because I think the reason that they're doing it is they're like, well, Mario's an 80s icon. Let's put some 80s music in. That didn't bother me. But I enjoyed it. It was a movie I enjoyed.
There was one thing that bothered you. Was the whole DK Switch song?
Yeah, that was a bit disappointing. Yeah. Actually, I didn't. I thought "Take on Me" fit there though. I don't know, but yeah, it would have been nice to get the full song there.
Definitely.
And then the last one I saw was Across the Spider-Verse.
Wait. Have you not seen Guardians 3 yet?
I haven't.
Tanner.
It didn't air. It didn't air there.
You haven't seen that movie?
No. In fact, I didn't see any of the Marvel movies aside from Across the Spider-Verse.
That's okay. But Guardians 3 is my favorite MCU movie now.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's the only Marvel movie that's made me cry.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we gotta fucking watch it.
Okay. We'll have to find time to watch it.
Yeah,
For sure.
like, holy-
I haven't seen it. Yeah. No.
And it just came out digital today.
No. Nice.
Yeah, so
Sure. I guess maybe we'll watch it today. We have time.
yeah.
Sure.
Okay, but Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh my
I've seen that
God.
as well.
Oh my God.
So
The only okay, mild spoilers again, very mild. My only problem, one singular only problem, is that it doesn't end.
no, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Other than that, I loved every single second.
Oh yeah.
It is so good. It is just like you'll think about, like, there were scenes where I was just taken aback by it. And you'll see people posting about, hey, in this scene this happens. You're like, whoa, it is. Or they'll be like, oh yeah, there was like 5 versions of it in different theaters across the world, so there's different versions for everyone. Yeah. That's wild. Although I will say, I did go to it on, like, I want to say launch day, on premiere day, and because I was on basically the 1.0, I could not understand anything in that first 5 minutes.
I did, so I think I got the better version.
You must have got the better version, because for me, the audio at the beginning was so quiet. The characters, you couldn't hear them.
Really?
Yeah. Because the very beginning is Gwen playing drums and talking about her life. All you could hear is the drums. And I mean, mind you, for the Chinese people there, they just read the subtitles and it was fine.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell what was going on. And it took until, like, you're out of that section for the audio to go normal. And even then, every now and then, there'll be a scene or two where you're like, I can't really tell, especially with Spider-Punk. I'm going to be real. That guy, I'm pretty good with British accents. Some of the stuff he says I had a rough time with. And it's funny because I have, like, Londoner friends who speak like that. Yeah. Like, I have Londoner friends who's like, oh, Wagwan, it's like, they're out like that. And I'm just like, okay, what is he saying? It didn't help that, like, it was the lowered audio.
And I think why it doesn't end, or it feels, because it's a 4-act movie. I've read that.
Oh, yeah. It's very clearly ended like...
The end part is the
beginning of Act 3.
Of the third movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no,
and
definitely.
Like, the implications of this movie, I really think... I don't know if there's a big plan behind the Marvel, the Sony of it all, but I feel like this franchise is really, like, going to be taking Spider-Man in a new direction in the future. Yeah. Like, with what's going on in the whole story. And, like the whole story is, do these things need to happen for you to be Spider-Man? Yeah, right? I like that idea. The idea of, like, you have to have these things happen to be Spider-Man, but if the idea is anyone can wear the mask, doesn't that contradict that? Exactly. And and that's what Miles is.
That's what Miles is. Yeah, it's such a neat idea. Yeah. I really enjoyed that movie. Visual candy. Soundtrack, I would say maybe not as good as Into the Spider-Verse. I thought Into had a more iconic.
Or the soundtrack?
Both.
I think the soundtrack for Across the Spider-Verse is better. Because Annihilate, Am I Dreaming, Hummingbird, those are amazing
I think it's because there's no What's Up Danger moment. Like,
I feel the What's Up Danger is the cut to credits with the I Am Dreaming.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. There wasn't a moment where it really popped off in that way. Like, there was no, there wasn't a combination of music and visuals like the initial skyscraper jump, right? Like, that moment is like, I mean, heck, I actually used for my film study unit, we used Into the Spider-Verse. Oh, okay. And so we used that for film, and the students were like, yeah, there's so much you can get out of that movie for so much with the music and the angles and stuff. And I feel like I didn't fully hit all the way with Across the Spider-Verse, but of course that is because, we've heard that the conditions working on the movie weren't the best. A lot of reshoots, a lot of changing stuff.
There's no way Beyond is coming out next year.
God, no. No way. Especially now that the conditions are known, and they're going to put it back, which is fine. Take your time. I want that trilogy to end and it to be a perfect trilogy. Yeah. I want it to just be
And all perfect. The cameos in this movie were so fun.
They were very fun. And it's funny because this and, like, The Flash kind of had the same sort of cameo sort of stuff going on. Yeah. But with Spider-Verse, it felt loving, whereas with Flash, reading about some of those cameos, I'm like, oh my God, how horrible. I think it's because everyone that was cameoing in Across the Spider-Verse was alive and consenting. Yeah, that helps. True. That helps. Yeah. Yeah. What a good movie, though.
Is there anything else? Yeah, no, it's amazing. I can't wait to watch it again.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And I'm curious what they're going to do. Are they going to put multiple versions on a Blu-ray and it just, when you hit play, it selects one of the versions from the theaters?
I don't know.
Because they've done that before. Some movies do that where it's
Really?
like you hit play and you get one of a couple versions. Yeah.
Why did they do that?
Why'd they do that? To increase the multiverse thing.
Oh,
Even your different versions of the movies are in different
yeah, I guess,
theaters.
Huh.
Yeah.
Also, minor spoiler, but the vulture in the beginning.
Holy
was so
crap,
cool.
it was so good. That whole sequence was like one of the most incredible sequences for action in a animated movie
and
ever.
the way they introduce how do you pronounce his name? Miguel.
Miguel?
Miguel.
Or Miguel?
Miguel.
Miguel.
Miguel. He just comes through the portal, and that's his theme is so cool.
He's
too.
cool. He's
Yeah.
real cool.
Oscar Isaac played him really well.
I didn't even realize it was him until after we're done, and I'm like, oh my god, that was him. He did so good.
Yeah, and him being like, I don't know if that's a spoiler. Oh, what about the spot? What do you think about the spot?
Terrifying and awesome. I'm happy. I love taking.
Yeah, he's like, I don't. We're getting the spoilers.
Yeah, but I'll just say I like
he
taking.
turns into an eldritch horror.
Yeah, I
at the
love
end.
taking
Like,
comedy villains and making them serious.
Yeah,
It's great. It's one of my favorite tropes.
I can't wait to see like the damage he does next.
Yeah, it's
right?
gonna be good. It's gonna be
Yeah.
real good.
Oh, was that all 3 movies?
That's it. That's all I've
Well, you
really.
watched 2 movies on the flight home.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Puss in Boots: Last Wish.
3 movies.
That movie is incredible.
Yeah.
Really, really, really good. I watched Ant-Man: Quantumania.
What do you think?
I felt nothing.
Really?
I felt nothing.
Are you not hyped for the multiverse saga?
No, I think it's just because like the movie.
I want to ask your opinions on that end scene though.
Okay, just all I'll say is the movie felt like a Star Wars prequel, and I mean that lovingly, where it's like it just felt like stuff happening. And it
What did
just
you
felt
think
like,
of,
look at
MODOK?
this weird thing. MODOK was fun. I like MODOK. In it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I thought like I'd never even
But he's supposed to be
considered-
a serious character.
It's fine.
Right.
Who cares? They're like, honestly, because here's the thing. People are like, oh, it needs to be comic accurate. I don't know if you know this, but Marvel Comics does some stupid stuff. Reading everything what's going on with Spider-Man right now, and it's the
it's terrible.
cringiest stuff.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So no, I don't care if it's different. If we never get MODOK again, I'm fine. I enjoyed what they did with him.
But Kang, like he was the. I'm excited to see more of him.
Looking a bit different, probably.
Oh well, didn't those allegations get wiped?
I have no idea.
But I don't.
I've not been paying
I don't
attention
want to get
whatsoever.
into that, but,
We'll see.
Yeah,
Like
we'll see.
I couldn't stop thinking about that and thinking about like, man, if they're hyping him up this much to have to recast him.
but it's easy to be like it's multiversal variant.
yeah,
type of thing, right?
I would think they would just do it like how Don Cheadle, like just like whoop,
Yeah.
no one says anything, or maybe they'll do a thing with like
There's something interesting
Bruce.
going on with that character in the MCU right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
In which movie?
It's a TV show
TV show?
that's airing right now.
Oh, I only watched episode 1.
Secret Invasion.
Yeah, I've only watched episode
Yeah.
1 of Secret Invasion. I didn't watch anything else.
What do you think? What do you think of that one?
It's okay.
It gets
It's- I definitely think it's just like I'm watching it and I'm just like, it definitely feels to me like one I'm watching just because I know it ties into the story. It hasn't hooked me into enjoying it on its own yet.
Okay.
It's sort of like when I watched Loki. I first started watching Loki because I was interested in the MCU stuff, but then I'm like, no, I actually care about what's going on in Loki.
Mm-hmm.
She-Hulk, that was definitely the same thing. I was like, okay, let's watch it for MCU, and then I'm like, no, I'm actually really enjoying it. Let's watch it for She-Hulk, right? Miss Marvel, same thing. What am I watching it for? Okay, first it's MCU. No, now I'm into the story.
Mhm.
But this one, so far, I'm just like, yeah, I'm watching it just for the MCU right now, right? I'm not really hooked in just yet.
Are you devastated about that ending?
Not really.
No,
No,
you're not going to miss them.
no, not really.
That's fair.
It's fine. It's
People are not happy about that.
it's whatever. It's also like, I don't know. I'm definitely of the feeling
Are
of
you kind of like getting off the train a bit?
I'm not getting off the train. Like I'm still gonna want to watch. I'm gonna say I want to watch the majority of the stuff, but I'm definitely at a point now where I'm like, if I hear about like I'm not going out of my way to watch stuff immediately. Like Black Panther, I had to wait until it was out on Disney Plus to watch.
Mhm.
Right? Like I'm not going out of my way where it's like I have to see this. It's like now I'll just wait. right?
You saw Black Panther though, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I had to wait till it came out though, because it wasn't airing, because the theaters were closed for COVID then,
Yeah.
and so I had to wait for it to come out there. Yeah, I mean, again, it was in one where it's like I enjoyed it. Yeah, don't have too much to say.
Okay.
What about you? What have you played?
Have you not played Zelda yet?
Oh yeah, no, I have, of course. I've been taking it pretty slow though.
Okay.
I kind of really burst with a lot right away at the start. Like for a while there, I was playing that because when it came out right at a holiday, and I was playing like 10 hours a day. Like I was in,
Yeah.
and then it eventually reached this point where I was just like, okay, I need to slow down. I got 2 dungeons done. I got the Master Sword, right? And now I'm just like, I just need to basically go and do it, right? But it was just a case of I was planning to like play it on the plane ride back, but my neck was hurting, and so I didn't want to feel like playing it.
I'm 175 hours in. I'm still not done.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm like, what you said about Metroid Prime, and be like, okay, let's get this over with. Like, I'm kind of feeling that with Zelda now.
Yeah.
And I think it's because just
mind
the
you,
way I'm playing it.
Yeah, the way I played Breath of the Wild was I did that where I was just like, as soon as I got to the point where I'm feeling like, okay, I'm done, I finished the game.
But it's like every 2 seconds, every like 5 seconds, there's something new to explore.
Yeah,
and it's overwhelming at first.
It's a lot. Oh, when you first when I first realized there is a whole second map, I was like, no, I don't believe you. And then I go down there and I'm like, oh my god, you're not joking.
Yeah.
Mind you, realizing, oh, it's just the regular map, but inverted. It's like, okay.
But there's still so much.
But there's still so much down there. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's an amazing game, and I'm sure we'll talk about it more off the podcast. But
I'm sure people have played and are talking about it all the time, right? This, like, honestly, I think one of the reasons that I didn't really bring it up was because it's like, yeah, of course everyone played it, right?
Yeah.
What did they have to say? Everyone played it.
That's fair,
right?
Yeah. Watching. Well, The Last of Us came out while you were gone.
Right, yeah.
I love that show.
Yeah, I've heard it's good.
It's very, very good adaptation.
Good.
Episode 3 is like a masterclass.
That's the one I hear.
Television.
Yeah. Yep.
But I guess it does feel kind of rushed at the end, but at the same time, in reality, that's kind of like how it would happen, type of thing.
Fair.
Not to get into spoilers, but yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to rewatching it, and I'm looking forward to watching season 2 and seeing how they deal with that.
The fact that it's going to be The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's, I think they confirmed that it's going to be 2 seasons. Because the second game's like double the length of the first one. Okay. So. But just like, how is that actress going to be received?
Yeah.
Accepted. How is that event going to be received?
Yeah.
Especially with like how beloved Joel, like that version of Joel is.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like you really send yourself up here.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll see. Other than that. The Secret Invasion I'm watching right now. I'm really liking that. Movie wise, I think we've
covered most
there.
Nice. Yeah.
What else? Reading. Oh, I guess what I've been watching, I've been kind of on a horror kick right now.
Nice.
In terms of, not movies or TV shows, but kind of literature.
Yeah.
Or I guess not the standard horror you'd expect. It's more like the analog horror. Have you dipped your toes in that at all?
Not really.
I finished one yesterday. Well, where this stems from is Nexpo. I don't know if you heard of him.
Nope.
He's kind of like the big horror YouTube channel that covers a bunch of stuff like analog horror, like real life disturbing stuff or mysteries type of thing. And it's fascinating. It doesn't scare me because it's like it's like how this stuff happens type of thing. And with the analog horror thing I watched, there's like Gemini Home Entertainment, and you know what analog horror is, right?
Yeah.
It's like stuff that's told through these videos, the story, and the way he like describes it and like goes into it is just really, really cool. And I did buy House of Leaves recently. I don't know.
That's the book that's crazy, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I know about that.
I'm looking forward to reading that. And have you heard of My House?
The
Doom mod?
Doom mod,
That's
yeah.
like
I've watched
impossible.
playthroughs of it. Yeah,
That's what really been like, okay, I want more of this.
It's wild. Yeah.
Because that kind of horror is like what my niche is. It's not really like
What? You're not interested in Garten of Banban?
What's that?
Oh, you don't know Garten of Banban?
No.
You don't know Huggy Wuggy Playtime?
No.
Oh, dude, mascot horror is dead, bro.
Oh, that stuff. Oh no. I'm talking like I don't like the Saws or the Final Destinations, the body.
Yeah, I don't like anything that's like gory like that.
But I really love the stuff that starts out. There's something a little bit wrong here.
Yeah.
And then you just fall into hell.
Oh, like yeah. The creepy stuff is awesome.
Yeah.
Stuff that is just like, ooh, but like you're doing a happy ooh, like you're like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, right?
Yeah.
Like I love that. I hate jump scares. I hate body horror. I'm like, that sucks.
That part in My House where it's just you go through the probably the deepest part of hell that is in that game where it's just dark.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that happens. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
And like the fact that nothing happens.
That's scary.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I think that's the thing where it's like you see, like, there's horror where they're like, and then a big scary monster pops out and he has blood in his eyes and he has a big wide mouth and you're like, oh, it's scary. I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if something is just a little unsettling and you're like, oh, it's like, yeah, that's way more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that Gemini Home Entertainment, it had monsters type of thing and had like this main threat type of thing, but it was really like you didn't really see the monster, you didn't like or the monsters, you didn't really know exactly what's happening. There's just a lot of implied stuff.
Yeah,
the stuff that you don't know about that you can see is the most terrifying thing.
Yeah,
and that's what really interests me.
I hate over explained horror.
Yeah.
Like if there's an answer to it, it's probably bad. Like honestly, if you come up with answers as to why something is, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like let people figure it out and let it be open enough that no one comes to a definitive answer.
Yeah.
It should be
and that's what
a thing of discussion.
Yeah, that's what Gemini Home Entertainment is all about.
Yeah.
I love that. JoJo Lands has started.
Yeah,
since, you've gone away. What do you think?
It's good so far. Yeah. I think I'm enjoying it more than JoJolian. Yep. Oh yeah, I've been reading it every time it comes out. I think just so far, I think the characters are more interesting than the JoJolian ones, and I feel like they're a bit more reeled back. JoJolian was a bunch of weirdos, like proper freaks.
Well, you don't miss Joshu?
No, I don't miss really any of them. Like it felt like they were all weird people who don't talk normal, which is kind of fun, but at the same time, now you're onto JoJolian and you're like, no, these are just normal people.
JoJo Lands.
Sorry, JoJo Lands. You're in JoJo Lands, and you're like, okay, no, we're back to like just regular people, and it being set in Hawaii is like there's like a grounding to it. Mm-hmm. Like it makes a lot more sense to like fantasy. Morio I didn't connect with it. Because, like, if it was Morio, it'd be one thing, because that's just Japan in the 80s. But it's, like, weird walleyes, Morio. Like, it didn't feel real. And so, grounding it back to reality a bit, I'm enjoying it more.
What did you think of when you first learned of who the Japanese man was?
I mean, I felt like it was just an obvious thing to go with for a character to sort of bring back and you
thought it was obvious? I
thought so. I did, because I feel like because this is coming up to like probably the end of JoJo, honestly.
I guess.
I felt like if there's a character to bring it back, it would be kind of a author insert, like, I mean, we're just going to say it's, right? Like, we can't tiptoe around
pretty much
it.
Just said
it's Rohan, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like it makes sense for them to be like, especially because we know, Rohan is a character that basically saw the world ending and said, I don't care. I just survived.
I think what's been
I'm not saying it's him. Like I'm not saying it's the one I'm not saying it's the Rohan. I'm just saying
you mean
no matter what
multiversal spirit.
No matter what world he's in, no matter what timeline, what universe,
he doesn't give a shit.
Rohan doesn't care. He's making manga, and that's his life.
Yeah, that's The whole cat thing at the end of chapter 5 is really interesting.
Yeah.
the whole rocks, or like the fact that the diamond isn't as valuable as those rocks and what those rocks mean.
It's intriguing.
And definitely, again, it all comes back to rocks and stone.
Yeah.
Like everything
And
in this story.
stones was the very first thing. The stone mask.
So
Yep.
those rocks are they're from the volcano.
Yep.
On those islands.
Yep.
But there's definitely something
more.
And I thought those rocks were rock human. Like,
yeah, I mean that my
remnants,
first
right?
Thought went to it's gonna be something with the rock humans
Yeah.
there, but then I thought, no, I mean it could be any of the rock things that have been around
Honestly.
in JoJo.
So yeah, it's very intriguing, and excited to see where it goes. And
Gonna keep reading it, yeah, for sure.
I'm going to be about 40 years old when it finishes, but
We'll see. We'll see. You're not wrong.
but yeah, I'm definitely really enjoying it so far. What do you think of his? What do you think of November Rain?
Oh, I like that it's a weird one again. Yeah. I like that it's not just Punch Ghost. I like that it's like, here's a unique, strange power for them to play with.
Heavy rain.
Yeah, well, literally heavy rain in this case. Yeah.
The one that everyone doesn't like is the hustle.
Oh,
it's so super specific, and you have to like.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the weird stuff.
Or what do you think of the clown guy, or pink guy?
Oh yeah, he's
Usagi.
He feels like a JoJolian character.
Yeah.
Right? He just feels like a friggin' weirdo in a group of kind of relatively normal teens.
And again, like Rohan suggested that he's implying that I wouldn't trust everyone you're working with.
Oh boy, I wonder which one.
Definitely think it's him. Like,
yeah. He's a bit of a weirdo.
Yeah. Or it could, in a twist, it could be his sister.
It could be.
Because,
I mean...
And the fact that this is just Breaking Bad in Hawaii is so fun.
It's fun. Yeah.
Like, you can tell, like in the most recent chapter when Rohan has the neck brace, that's a same image from Breaking Bad type of thing.
Nice, yeah. I could see that.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. Is there anything else for you?
No. That's about it.
All right.
Okay. Section 3. Most anticipated games. So this is actually, I had a bit of trouble with this.
Really?
I did a bit. I feel like right now, like a lot of the stuff that I wanted to come out, it all just came out at once. Like Street Fighter and Final Fantasy 16, right? Like have
you played that?
I've been playing it, yeah.
Oh yeah, you didn't mention that.
I wouldn't say I'm far enough to say anything about it. It's good. It's real good.
I played the demo and it's like, wow.
Let me tell you, once you go way past the demo, it gets better.
Really?
It gets real good.
I've heard people say it's a terrible game, and I've seen people who say it's like the peak of Final Fantasy. Like,
it's, in my eyes, it is the best. It's the best linear Final Fantasy. So it's not like open world. It's sort of like, you know how Final Fantasy VII Remake is a linear experience from start to end?
Yeah.
It's the best version of that.
Okay.
Yeah. It is all those great moments, but even more. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of Final Fantasy, Rebirth.
That's one of my most anticipated games.
That's number 1 for me.
That's number 2 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's number 2 shared with Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh, okay.
Just because they're so similar, honestly.
I guess, yeah. You want to talk about Rebirth, or do you want to?
I don't even have much to say other than it just looks awesome.
That newest trailer.
There's just such a world that I'm excited to see. The fact that the world that we've seen is the shape of the world map on the PS1 version. But it's like taking that and expanding it to, bigger than what the size was meant to convey.
Yeah.
I'm just excited for the fact that it's like, yeah, Yuffie's going to be there right away. She's going to be there. You got team up attacks. You have now the power of the PS5 that's going to make that run so much better.
Yeah.
Where the plot goes, I am throwing my hands up in the air and saying, take me on a ride.
Yeah.
Right? Like we could speculate all day. There's no way we can guess what way it'll go.
No.
No way. Nope, it's gonna go wild.
What do you think Sephiroth was alluding to at the end there?
I don't know. I don't know. I've seen so much speculation, and I honestly, I feel like there's even the chance that what he said in the trailer is not in the game.
That's true.
I absolutely feel like they will do that, where they'll be like, "What you thought? No, we're playing with you."
I guess.
Right?
But-
So I need to just wait until it comes out to speculate, because honestly, I didn't expect 7 Remake to go the way it did by the end, and so I'm like, "Yep, take me wherever. I don't care. I'm in. I like the characters, I like the world, I like what they did with 7 Remake. Give me more."
All right. What's your number 1?
Well, actually my number 3,
Oh yeah.
which I didn't get
Right.
to. My number 3 is actually kind of a cheat, but there are a lot of really good fan translations that are coming out.
Okay.
So games that have come out a long time ago, but are now finally going to be able to come out in English. Sakura Wars 2. So that's one. I played Sakura Wars 1 fan translation. That game is awesome. Number 2 is getting fan translated by someone who actually knows me. I'm mutuals with him on Twitter.
Oh, nice.
And so he actually said, "Hey, just going to let you know, you're going to want to clear your schedule on this day." And I'm like, "What?" And he released a demo for it then. And I'm like, "Oh, dude."
Nice.
So like he knew. Like, that's awesome. Boku no Natsuyasumi. Have you heard of that game?
No.
So it is a game, 1 and 2 are simultaneously by different groups being translated. And it is a game that is literally just, you are a boy in Japan. You have your summer vacation. So you have 2 months of summer vacation, and you just do life in Japan in summer vacation.
So it's like
It's a whole game of Persona 5, like,
it's like a slice of life game.
slice of life. Yeah, and it's just like you can go fishing, you can talk to villagers, and because it's like a calendar system, there's something new every day. There's an overall story depending on what you do, it affects the ending. And it's like super comfy. It is beautiful. It is all hand painted backgrounds, and so
Nice.
that's one I'm excited for. There's an old one called Otogirisu, which is like one of the first horror visual novels for the Super Nintendo.
Oh.
Getting a fan translation there. I'm excited for that. And finally, the last sort of remaining Fate game, Fate Extra CCC, which is the kind of the updated version of Fate Extra. It's getting a fan translation. They just came out and said, "We want it done by the end of this year." So it's like, yes. And people have said it's one of those games that's like, they're like, it's the best game you're not able to play because you need English, right? And that's an RPG. It's not a visual novel. It is a proper RPG game. So like, I'm excited to check out all these fan translations. I'm so excited. There's a lot of games that are like ones that I've always wanted to play that now they're like, yeah, we're translating it. It's like, yes. So that's exciting for me. That's my number 3.
Okay.
What's your number 3?
Honestly, like what comes to mind in my head is Mario Wonder.
Yeah.
That game.
I was considering putting Mario Wonder and Sonic Superstars together as my number 3.
Okay.
Of both of these, like, these games where they said, okay, we've done the safe retro 2D. Now we're gonna do the fun retro 2D.
Yeah.
We're gonna be open to trying new weird things. We're gonna work on the graphics. We're gonna make it look good and be fun and take risks. And
I
I'm
just
excited
love
for
how,
that.
like the kind of claymation look.
I
of
love
Mario.
the claymation look. It looks so
The
good.
backgrounds, everything. Like they took that like level in Mario U, the water painted background.
Oh yeah.
I've been like, what can we do with this, and just like blow it up.
Yeah,
Like,
because when I first heard, oh, we're doing when it was leaked, they're like, yeah, there's gonna be a new 2D Mario. I'm like, freaking, man, I don't care. I really don't care for any of the new Super Mario Bros. Games past the DS one.
no.
I think most of them are like kind of lame. Like they're just
What about Wii?
fine. Oh, I thought it was boring and
Really?
safe.
Wow.
I didn't like it.
Well, that was in their era of safe Mario.
Yeah, it was that was like peak safe Mario,
Yeah.
right? Like the most crazy is the penguin suit. Ooh, it's like, oh, whatever. This feels so crazy.
And now it's like Elephant Mario.
The elephant Mario's gonna go wild.
It's just like Like, what does the Wonder Seed entail? Like,
I love the idea. I know there's some people like, oh, level gimmicks. I'm like, no, give me weird
Yeah.
gimmicks. It makes every level unique if we're gonna have one weird thing that happens in each of them.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. But like on top of like the super, like the power ups you can already get, right? Like,
Yeah, because they show Fire Peach in there, so we got the regular power ups too, and you
and
got
Daisy.
and playable Yoshi.
Yeah, Yoshi.
Yeah, because he's playable. If you look, he's on the life icon too.
Yeah.
So he's just a
And
character.
if they like throw Wario and Waluigi in,
I honestly think this is the chance to get them in.
yeah,
I feel like if it's ever gonna happen, if not base game, they could do a DLC campaign.
yeah,
I feel like now's the time for them.
yeah. I guess in the same vein of that Mario RPG remake,
Yeah, that looks so good. I know some people don't like the art, but they're wrong because it literally looks like the original 3D models they made and then used to make the sprites.
Yeah.
Like it looks as close to perfect as
I
possible.
never played the original, so it's going to be a completely new game.
It's
for me.
you're in for a treat. That game is like, it reminds me of Final Fantasy VII, in which you play it and you're like, oh, this is a classic. Like every single, from start to finish, step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4, you're going from iconic set piece to iconic set piece to iconic set piece. It doesn't slow down. And that's awesome.
Nice.
And especially because people have looked at some comparisons, they're using some like beta content too in there.
Really?
It's looking to be a complete version, which is cool because there's some pretty cool unused stuff in that game. So if we're getting the full, completely brought everything in, that's going to be really good.
All right. What's your number one?
My number one just got announced.
Today?
No, about last week.
Do I know about it?
I added everyone on the Discord.
Oh, that game.
Oh my god,
That-
Tsukihime is coming out in English. It is a game that people have said will never come out in English. Because it is a novel where in the first hour a white woman gets chopped up.
What?
Yeah, it is. Oh, man. And it's a game, funny enough, the fan translation just came out. But here's the problem. It's a PS4 and Switch game. How do you get a fan translation on the PS4 or Switch? I either have to mod one of my systems, which I'm not super comfortable with, or I would have to emulate it. Which, again, I'm not super into emulating. It's a pain in the butt to get set up. So instead, I'm like, boom, no. I'm so excited for, them to bring out this game that I've always been so excited for. So that and also, again, I'm doing shared slots. That and then the remake of Fate Extra Record, because that's a game that was a PSP RPG, and it basically, the combat system was rock, paper, scissors when it came out, which is fine for like a little easy, starter RPG. For this PS5, it's basically Fate Persona. I don't know if you've seen what it looks like. It literally looks like Fate Persona. So it's like full RPG, and the combat system is now Slay the Spire.
Huh.
You get cards by playing, you build up your deck, and once you've built up your deck, you're able to, it's a roguelike almost. You build up your deck, you fight the boss, and then you move on. But yeah, it's just Fate Persona.
Oh, nice.
Right? So it's a proper, RPG there. So that's really exciting. That's another one I'm really excited for. We haven't heard much info about it for a while. People are like, oh, game's dead. But it's like, no, they're just working on it. So it's whatever. But those are kind of my big things.
Nice.
Yeah, the top ones are Fate, but that's just because it's like, man,
that's your brand. By this
it's
point,
by
right?
this point, I've done so much with it, and it's just like, I love this universe, and the fact that they keep making more makes me very happy. And it's like, it's coming out in English officially, which is wild, because for a long time it was like, yeah, you gotta, play the fan translations, or you gotta read this thing that's only in Japanese, or play this thing only in Japanese. And it's like, no, now we're finally getting it in English. And it's like, oh my God, I'm so excited.
Nice. My number 2, Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah.
The stuff we've seen so far, like that game. Did you watch that gameplay?
I actually didn't.
Okay.
Because I want to go in pretty blind.
You're going to get it, though?
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it is a game I'm excited for. I did enjoy both the base game, and I enjoyed Miles Morales.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. and I'm looking forward to playing with those tokusatsu costumes because they look fun.
Oh, those look so weird.
They look awesome. They look great. It's like last because they had the Spider Kamen Rider one in the PS5 version. And it looked okay because it had like the cell shading, but this time like no, we made a proper Power Ranger suit for him, and it looks awesome.
I'm just interested to see how they're going to adapt the Last Hunt storyline
Yeah.
with Kraven and Venom. And the theories that Venom is Kraven, I don't like at all.
No,
Because
we saw the post-credits scene of the original game. It's pretty obvious
why are they still hinting at it then?
because
I feel like there's a surprise.
I mean the surprise might be another like symbiote.
Maybe.
That's what maybe.
I'd like to see Carnage.
No, we've done Carnage. Bring in some of those other weirdos.
We've done Venom.
Give us like Phage or whatever.
Or the Big Wheel.
Yo, yeah, give us Big Wheel. Give us Big Wheel.
Or the Wall.
Oh God, yes. Give us make the Wall be a super boss. It's like he's slowly approaching you, and you have to like beat him up in time. It'd be great.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they expanded upon the mechanics, the new areas.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's the same map.
Oh, but this, dude, I'm gonna be real. Twitter dying is gonna be the best thing ever because then I don't have to listen to these people anymore. Like the fact that I'm actively like avoiding Twitter with the fact that I was getting rate limited all the time. I was like, man, my life is great. I don't have to listen to the opinions of these losers anymore. And if I ever need news, I just go on Discord and there's people telling me the news. Oh, how lovely. I am honestly,
I kind of am on that train.
If Twitter dies, I'm not signing up for anything else. I'm accepting my fate and I'm just sticking with YouTube and Discord. That's it.
No, that makes sense.
I'm not doing anything else. I don't care. I don't care enough to care. I am past that time. It's been a distraction for me in life, and so I'll just stick with it being just, for my friends on Discord. That's all I need.
Or like a gaming news publication website type of thing.
I mean, heck, for that, I just subscribe to their YouTube and RSS feed, right? I just do that to get their news on my, in my news section on my phone. That's all I need.
You're not going to sign up for Threads?
God, no. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Because the whole thing where it's like, oh yeah, to get Threads, you need an Instagram account. I'm not doing that.
No?
No, God, no.
You can upload your photos?
No, God, no. I don't care. Or the fact that it's like, oh yeah, the fact that people are like, yeah, we're getting rate limited on Threads today. Oh, so the whole reason people were leaving Twitter is now on Threads.
Oh,
great. So I'm like, no, I'm just leaving that be. I don't care.
Other thing I want to talk about, the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's going to be a weird thing because they're not recording new voice lines.
No, they're reusing the dialogue. Which one of the big reasons for that is some of the actors died in the Japanese version.
Yeah.
So because of that, they just want to reuse it. So I mean, I don't know. I need to see because I think MGS3 is like a really, really good game, and we're getting it on everything.
I'm so glad we're getting that Master Collection.
Yeah, I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
I'm shocked it's getting the NES versions. That's wild. Yeah. Especially because
and I think the only reason we're not getting Twin Snakes is because there's some weird licensing.
Well, Twin Snakes wasn't made by Konami.
Yeah.
Twin Snakes was made by the guys who did they're made by Factor 5. Or no, was it Factor 5 or Next Level Games? It's made by a different company.
What's the Next Level almost?
Yeah, who made Twin Snakes? Cuz it's Silicon Knights.
Oh,
Silicon Knights does not exist anymore.
No.
Yeah, Silicon Knights died with X-Men Destiny and Too Human, yeah.
And the fact that they're putting in so much love into this collection with like the manuals and like the art and all that.
Yeah.
So this is how you do a collection. Like this and I'm excited to see what Volume 2 is going to be all about, even though it leaked.
Well, it leaked, but at the same time on the website, now there's more stuff that makes it seem like it might actually get MGS4 on there, which is going to be wild if that's the case.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, and I saw people saying like, well, there's no way the Switch can run Phantom Pain, and I'm like, you realize that was on the PS3.
Yeah.
That was a PS3 game. It can handle it.
Yeah. And if we get Revengeance in one of these collections too.
So the original leak was Revengeance, Peace Walker, and Portable Ops.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah, so I feel like Revengeance will make sense to be in.
Yeah. The two Atlas games. Persona 3 Reload.
Oh yeah. I don't have much to say about Persona 3 Reload other than it looks like Persona 3 and the Persona 5 engine.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
It's gonna be my first experience with Persona 3.
I think that's solid. Yeah.
Yep. Beat isn't happy. I don't want to say he's not happy. He's worried that my first experience is going to be tarnished.
Well, I mean, your only other choice is the PSP version, which would be even worse.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that the versions that are ported?
Yeah, the PSP version,
Oh, yeah, okay.
which removes all of the overworld for visual novel.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want that.
And are you going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say, and then there's the other game, the
Metaphor.
Well, I was going to call it Re-Fantasy because that's what it was for a while there.
Yeah,
Metaphor there. I mean, that looks like a...
Yeah, that looks
really... they say it's not a Persona game. It's basically an SMT game. It's, because, like, there was non-SMT SMT games, like Majin Tensei, like these games that don't... Or Digital Devil Saga was not labeled as an SMT game, but going back, it is. And so I think it's another one of those where it's like, because it uses the spell names from Persona.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's basically fantasy, like SMT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to see more of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to say anything about Sandland?
Not really.
No? All
no,
right.
Nothing really. I mean, I read the comics when it came out, but that's just like a short series. Like it's like 10 chapters.
You have anything to say about Sonic Superstars?
It looks great. Cool that they gave a canon, because there's the character Fang the Sniper. He's now Fang the Hunter, and he was also known as Knack the Weasel. And they basically said, yeah, he's a bounty hunter, so he goes by different names. Perfect. Solved the problem with the name inconsistencies over time. That looks fun.
Oh, what was the game? Oh yeah, Pikmin 4, I guess, is coming out this month.
I don't have much to say about it.
Now, did you play the demo?
Nope.
No?
No. I mean, I don't love Pikmin.
Really?
No, I don't. I will enjoy someone else's Let's Play of it, because then I don't have to stress about any time limits.
There's no time limits anymore.
There's the daytime limit. Even that kills me.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like that. So for me, I will watch someone's playthrough, probably Vinny. I will enjoy that, and that's all I need to do.
Did you play the Resident Evil 4 remake?
I didn't. No.
Oh, okay. I finished that.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of want to play the original to see how different it is.
Because I love the original. And from what I hear from people, it's one of those remakes where the original and the remake are both valid and worth existing and have differences, and like that's a strong thing.
And this 4 really cements that this is a different universe. Like there's like, I think in my mind there's 2 Resident Evil universes now. The remake universe and the original.
Oh yeah, I could see that, yeah.
Yeah. Because like there's stuff that happens in this 4 that never happened in original 4.
Interesting.
That are going to lead the story.
So, oh yeah.
Yeah. So anything about Persona 5 Tactica?
No.
No?
It's another spin-off. It's good art style.
You gonna pick it up?
Probably not, honestly.
No.
I think Mario RPG comes out on that same day, so I'm gonna get that instead.
Oh yeah. I'm just looking through the list here. Have anything to say about the Avatar game? I'm just kidding.
Which one? There's one for the Last Airbender and one coming out for the Blue People.
The Blue People.
No, I don't care about either.
I think we're just repeating stuff here. But yeah. Those are games that covered.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything else?
Anything else?
Not really. Like I'm pretty happy to be back. I have a proper month and a half really off at this point. Don't gotta look for a job. Don't gotta do anything. So because of that, like I'm gonna spend this time kind of just chilling. And
do you have planning, course planning stuff?
No, because it's the same as last year. I have all my stuff planned.
Oh.
So for me, it's like, I'll just go and teach what I taught already to a new set of students, and that's the nice thing. It's because of that, like I have a proper time off, which is really nice. Like zero anything to worry about other than getting like some passport stuff done. I'm still have paperwork to get through and get that done. Mm-hmm. And like, I mean, I have an anime-thon coming up, so we're gonna go to a convention. I don't know how it's gonna go. And we'll see if I want to go all 3 days or if I'm gonna go just maybe. I don't know.
I think I'll just go like for one day.
Yeah, I got to talk with my sister, figure it out. See what she's up to. I mean, one thing is I've found myself becoming more frugal with money. Not that I'm worrying about money because of the payment in there being good, but like I'll just think to myself and I'll be like, do I want to do that? Is it worth the cost to how much fun it would be? You know, is it something that
Are you becoming an adult
I am?
with that huge Among Us button on there?
Yeah, I can't press it right now, sadly, but
contradicts.
I did buy a stream deck that lets me press meme buttons. I have the Vine Thud, I have Boner, I have the Pipe Drop, I have Bruh, I have the Horny Bonk, I have Among Us, I have Yippee! And that's just one page.
Where's the SpongeBob?
The SpongeBob is under YouTube poop noises.
There it
So
is.
the sad SpongeBob button. I have Mario going, no.
I love that sound.
I have Hello Mario, which is another really good one. I have the Metal Gear Solid noise. I have Firing My Laser. I have a bunch of Zelda ones. Lamp oil, rope, bombs, you know. Oh boy, great, you know. Enough. Stuff like that. I have all the Neko Arc noises. I have one of her going China, which is really fun, easy to spam. I have Ace Attorney ones, which is because I'm playing Ace Attorney right now, the Great Ace Attorney. Yeah, and then some Fate ones too,
Nice.
of course. Yeah, that was just a purchase I made for fun. So I mean, I'll make stuff like purchases like that, but it's usually stuff that's like I purchase it, but like going to stuff, or I'll think about, you know, again, like the costs, and I'll just be like, what's like, where am I at? You know, what am I doing? Is it worth it? So I'm definitely found myself that I'm also eating a lot less. Like I realized living on my own, there'll be days where I'll just be like, I eat one meal and I'm like, I'm not hungry. If I'm not hungry, why eat? I don't need to. And I find myself just having, because
You're
I'm in
falling out of love with food.
no. Like when I eat nice.
Okay.
But I find myself just being like, when I'm not tied to schedule, like I can just be like, it's 11 o'clock. I can eat for the day, and then I'm full, and then I'm happy. Or maybe it'll be like, you know, I'll skip breakfast. I'm like, okay, I need lunch, and then maybe I'll get dinner later, you know. But I'm when I'm living on my own for the first time, I can really live at my own schedule. I can just be untethered to the world. I can just up and do things. I want to do this, boom, go do it. I don't have to consider, you know, around other people, and I really like that. I really like that.
Nice.
That said, I tried online dating. Didn't go great.
No, it's definitely not.
Definitely not easy. It's something that, especially being in a place where you don't speak Chinese,
Oh yeah.
that was difficult. I mean, I got a few dates with people who spoke English. They went fine, but not really something where I'm like, I legitimately got to a point where I'm like, if I'm alone forever, I'd at least be happy there, working on my own schedule, you know? So I've at least like accepted if that's the way it goes, I'll
Which
be
it's not.
happy. It's probably not, because I just need to find someone. But at the same time, it's like I've accepted that if it is, I can at least be happy with that.
If you're happy with yourself, that's the first step.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. I was
yeah.
just super happy with myself there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlike here, where I went for a walk yesterday and some teenagers honked and screamed out their window at me, probably because I was wearing Crocs. Like that small thing alone was enough to, incent them to scream at me out their window. Twice they rode around the
Really?
block and came back around and did it again. So yeah, kind of different.
You'll find your saber.
Hopefully, even if she has to be a white woman.
Yeah. I think there's.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Well, we have a day to chill, hang out with each other.
I got a Pixel watch, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is that Persona 4 theme?
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't. This is a 100% want. There's no need for me. To have
Oh,
this,
yeah.
right?
I mean,
Like, but it's so nice to have.
but it's nice to have.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
So.
get that.
Yeah. I still can't believe you haven't seen Guardians 3.
Well, we'll be watching it right away. Probably order some Chinese food
Okay.
because that's something I missed. I missed Chinese food. You might be like, "What?" And it's
No.
because Chinese food here is not the Chinese food there.
No.
It is because the Chinese food we get here is like it's very much they adapted it to Western flavors, so it's a different cuisine. They don't have like half the stuff we get for Chinese food there. It's totally different.
Okay.
Oh, one thing I did eat there that I didn't talk about. Donkey burgers.
What?
Donkey meat.
How did that taste?
Actually delicious.
Really?
It's a really good meat. And it's like $3 for basically shaved donkey meat, onions, and usually there's green peppers cut up in a little like heated bun, like a little panini. $3. Little thing like that. Oh, so cheap and so good.
Huh.
That's something I really enjoyed there. Lots of weird food. So I'm kind of excited to try some more normal food.
Nice. All right.
Rightio. Well, didn't hit the 5 hours as we expected, but that's fine.
Got halfway there.
We got halfway there. So thank you all for listening. This is, it was nice to catch up. I mean, it is worth mentioning. This is us catching up.
Yeah, it
like
is,
this was, we basically came in, we got a drink, and this was our first time, really talking again.
Yeah.
So because of that, this was, you got the true catching up here, which is going to be fun to share.
Are you seeing Barbie
I actually might.
at Oppenheimer? Double feature?
No, not Oppenheimer.
Oh, what?
But Barbie looks fun. Just for Ken.
I'm just scrolling through my Twitter feed.
Ken looks fun. I'm excited for that. Ryan Gosling there is I like how he says you got to have your Kenergy.
He's literally me.
Don't worry, no matter who you are, if you are a man, you are Kenuff.
What? He hasn't said that.
He has said that in interviews.
Oh, in interviews.
Yeah. It's great. It's great. I love it.
All right.
We will see you all later. I mean, I got no more videos coming up.
No more?
No, I do have more
Oh.
videos coming up, right? Because I'm recording and stuff here.
We're just
Talking here.
We're just talking. The Peach game.
Oh,
What do you think of that?
if she turns into a magical girl like I think she is, that might be awesome. It is a
Is
proper
it a
magic.
Super Princess Peach sequel?
No. It
Or is
looks
it something?
it looks like, because in Japan they do stage shows where it's like, the Kamen Rider up on stage, transformation happens, they fight monsters. It looks like that because the enemies in it look like the Shockers, which are like the mooks from Kamen Rider.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's supposed to be magical girl like transformation because
Interesting.
she transforms at the end. If that's the case, that's gonna be awesome. We'll have to see.
And Luigi's Mansion.
I felt nothing for that.
No.
Nah,
Yeah, it's the worst Luigi's Mansion game.
that's probably why. Yeah,
Yeah. That just popped in my head.
that's fair. That's fair.
So you're not able to hit like a sound effect at the end?
Sadly, no. I would have to edit it in post because it's not hooked up. If I press it now, I don't think it'll do anything. Let's see. Yeah, see, it's not hooked up for some reason. I think it's because I reset my computer, so I have to get it set back up and stuff. But oh well.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Thank you all for listening. And where can they find you?
Twitter.
Yeah,
I
what's your
guess.
Twitter? As that survives, hopefully, until tomorrow.
I mean, I don't really post at all. I am nowhere near your levels of
shitpostery.
social media engagement.
Yeah.
But I will get there one day. I am in marketing.
That's true. That's true.
At age 1000.
There you go.
The numbers, not
There,
the letters.
there is, our Discord.
Yeah.
Access to that is possible if you pledge. I think it's $15 now on my
Is it?
Patreon. Yeah,
Yeah.
I upped it there.
Just make sure you're not weird.
Yeah, just don't be weird.
Yeah.
Which is a tall ask, but I mean,
it's surprisingly tall ask.
yeah, that's
Well,
fine though.
yeah.
But yeah, you can talk to us there if you want.
Yeah. And don't expect civility. Expect civility, but don't expect seriousness at all.
No.
Yeah.
It's a difficult place to describe to people.
It's definitely sometimes I need to take a break from it.
Let's see. I'm gonna go in there right now and what's being talked about. Let's see. Well, I'll just go to the lore.
I love that channel. Whenever new posts pops up, I look right away.
Yeah, we got just me posting. I can't even describe some of this.
There's a good incentive.
There's a good incentive. You got to come
If
in
you want
and
to see
take a
the
look at
channel
the
lore,
lore. Yeah,
You gotta.
that's just a collection of the best posts. It's so good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've been prolonging this.
Yes.
Thank you all for listening. We will see you all in the future.
Where will you be?
I will be on this YouTube channel. I will be on Twitter until it dies at Tanner of the North. If it dies, then I'll just be on YouTube and Discord, and that's it. That's my plan.
Damn.
It is what it is.
You gotta start streaming.
I see. The reason I don't like streaming though is because I hate the fact that like
So we're prolonging this
I know,
so much.
but it's just like people ask me why don't you stream, and it's like because if someone walks in and says I need you to help with something, then I
But
don't have to worry.
If you live on your own now, when you go back,
True, but then there's a slight problem.
internet.
Yeah, my internet cuts out every now and then.
Oh.
So because of
That would
that,
be like a unique experience.
yeah,
You got
it's-
it.
honestly, I
I'm
just
kidding.
I don't love the responsibility of streaming. I just much prefer we're doing my pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
Okay.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Okay,
we've been
bye-bye.
prolonging this. Okay, bye.
Bye.